Howdy, Carnivores.
Hello.
Hey,
Hey.
thanks for joining us again. Today, our topic is going to be carnivore diet during the holidays, kind of navigating the holiday, temptations. Let's see here. How was your day or your week, Michael?
Busy week. Doctor came out to see me, and let's just say she couldn't believe what she saw. I haven't seen her in 2 months.
That's awesome. That's so good.
Um, and her little helper was a keto carnivore expert, let's just say.
Oh,
She had a training student with her, and I was really impressed with what she had to say.
that's
And
awesome.
she knew who you guys were.
Oh,
That's
wow. We're famous.
Uh,
that's
uh,
crazy.
so,
Wow. So they love what you're doing. Then it's good to have somebody on your
yeah,
side in the on the
yeah,
medical
it
side.
is.
So
Yeah, yeah. My Christine's amazing. She's been with me for about 2 years now, and she's seen what I've gone through. So,
that's awesome.
uh,
That is awesome. How about you, Lindy? What are you doing this week?
Yeah, it's been a busy week. Lots going on. Very emotional roller coaster for me, but got some really cool news. But I'm not going to say anything now until, yeah, maybe next week I'll announce it when things are sort of finalized. But exciting week. Lots of changes going on in my life, but and I've managed to navigate it all and still be 100% carnivore, haven't cheated with all this stuff going on, which normally I would turn to food. So such a big change there. I'm really proud of myself for getting through without, having any issues. So yeah, very exciting time at the moment.
That's awesome. That is way
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah. Let's see. I didn't do much anything special. I cooked mom some quiche. She wanted some quiche, so I made mom some quiche. Did a little cooking with my niece, and really worked on some stuff on the studio here, but yeah, that was about it. Nothing super exciting this week, but lots of good things coming. It's kind of cold here, the winter, so things are slowing down. I keep seeing all your pictures and stuff, Lindy, from Australia, and I'm jealous. You guys are going into summer.
Yeah, we've had such nice weather. We went for a drive yesterday. The sun was out, and I got to drive my little car. And yeah, I'm loving it. I'm so sick of the cold weather, cold, wet rain, and yeah, it's just been miserable. So hanging out for summer, definitely.
I
Probably
gotcha.
the first summer I'm actually looking forward to because normally I suffer with having the extra weight and overheating, but this is the first summer I'm actually looking forward to because yeah, I'm a little bit more comfortable in myself now with my body. So, yeah, it should be exciting. We'll see how I feel midsummer. I'll let you know how I go.
That's awesome. Oh yeah, one exciting thing, I did get over the tobacco cravings this week. That was good.
that's awesome.
That was fun because it's been well, so it's been 17 days as to today, so it took 13 days to finally get over that, which is pretty incredible after over a 20-year tobacco habit. So that's making me pretty happy. That was a big one this week. So
Lovely.
let's see here. What do you guys think you're doing for the holidays?
Oh, Michael, do you want to start? What do you got planned?
Nothing really.
How are you?
Um,
How are you not going off the deep end on the pumpkin pie and stuff?
used to. It used to be one of my favorite things. I used to always look forward towards pumpkin pie and stuff like that. Not anymore. I don't. Not even thinking about it. I think I'm
Isn't that
gonna.
awesome?
I think what I'm gonna do is get myself a prime rib or something and
Nice.
make that for Thanksgiving, and then I'll have it for a few days, and I'm gonna be happy. You know.
That's awesome.
Uh,
Um, yeah, I think I'm gonna do this one of the same things. I always do um a when I want to do a special thing on carnivore, I do a tomahawk ribeye. I love those things. They're such a fun little um little treat, and it's within the wheelhouse, so I really enjoy those. And then I go off the rails, I go crazy, and I allow myself to have horseradish when I on the holidays, because I love sour cream and horseradish sauce on
It's good
meat.
stuff.
Yeah, it's the way to go. So
I
I'm
agree.
planning my big off the rails treat is going to be the horseradish cream sauce. So that's what I'm doing. How about
Yeah.
how about you, Lindy?
Oh, we've this is going to be a fun year, I guess. Normally we just do Christmas with my girls and husband and girls, so it's just the four of us and her fiance, so five of us. And it's normally here, but this time my daughter's decided to host Christmas at her house, and they've just bought a smoker, and they're going to buy roasts and stuff to put in there. And you got me going with a tomahawk steak. I'm actually going to buy a couple of tomahawk steaks and take those and put them in the smoker as
Yes,
well, because I've never
it's
had one. So,
oh,
yeah, you've convinced me we need to try. So I'm going to take those along as well. And
I don't
just,
know. I don't know what it is, but meat on the bone is so much better. Like ribbon or
More
bone in
flavor.
ribeyes, you know, prime rib roast with the bones in, and those tomahawks. Man, they are so much better. I don't know why, but they just add so much flavor to me, and just they're just more like tender and soft to me.
yeah, well, I've seen them in the shop, but they're so big, aren't they? And they're very expensive. So I thought, well, it's Christmas, we'll rush out and buy some. But how do you cook them? Like, I've only got a little fry pan. Like, how would you cook it? So that's why I've never even contemplated it. But then when my son-in-law said, "Oh, we've got a smoker," I thought, that perfect. We'll take that. We'll have use that as an opportunity to give it a try. And he's really good with meat, so he knows how to cook it. So my husband cremates everything. I can't even have a barbecue because he'll just burn it to a crisp. So I'm looking forward to that. And then on my husband's side of the family, they normally have a really big Christmas do as well. And usually it's at a park and they do, or someone's house, and they'll just do a big barbecue and everyone brings plates. And I haven't gone for the last 10 years because I was uncomfortable. I just felt embarrassed that I'd put on so much weight. And I mean, they're all a big family, but I was really big. And I just always felt uncomfortable. And they'd have these little chairs that I couldn't sit in because I just didn't fit, or I was scared I was going to break it. Um, so I just avoided going to Christmas. I just stopped. And so they're used to me not going. This year, I'm actually going to go.
That's
So
awesome.
I don't know. I don't think they watch channels, so it's all right. They're not. They don't know that I'm going, but I'm
Yeah,
actually going to make an effort to go. I am a little bit worried because I think they all know that I do carnivore because Scott's mum has pretty much told everybody. But yeah, they're a little bit rowdy, and sometimes I'm a little bit scared they're going to like hang food in front of my face and try and tease me and that. But I'm really strong. Like, it doesn't
Yeah,
phase me anymore. Like
it'll be
last year, I
fun.
didn't go. Yeah, I didn't go last year because I wasn't feeling strong. But this year, I really feel like I've nailed it. I'm in a good place and I can handle that kind of stuff and just ignore it and just think to myself, that's the car brain they're talking in their heads. I've got the carnival calm. Hang that stuff in front of my face. I'm not going to be phased by it. I just know that I'm going to feel awesome at the end of the party, and they're all going to be there with their stubbies. They're rubbing their food bellies. Yeah, I feel crap. And I'll be like there with a big smile on my face, feeling awesome. So
Right.
that's how I'm sort of looking at it. I'm just going to go be social. I'm not there for the food. I'm there to be part of the family. So whereas they're there for the booze and the sweets and the treats and stuff. Just got different focus now. So I'm looking
totally.
forward to that.
Absolutely. That's a huge accomplishment though. I mean, after 10 years, that's going to be amazing. And you get to come back strong with being an example. And I hope you're going to line it up like I do. I wait, just like you said, wait for them. They'll give me a hard time, about working on my girlish figure and stuff, like when I'm not eating all the pies and stuff, but afterwards, Afterwards, when they're all sitting there groaning and moaning and burping and belching in the living room, that's when I'm going to start dropping elbows and I'm going to start making payback. I'm going to be like, "Aren't you glad you had that third and fourth plate of pie?"
Nope. It's not worth it.
No.
It's not, is it? No.
No.
So I know I'm going to feel great afterwards, and I'll just stick to the meat because they do have the barbecue. I'll bring my own steaks because theirs isn't. I think they buy like the cardboard. I call them cardboard hamburgers. They're just the processed ones, which are not very nice, and they all love them. But I want real meat. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'll definitely do a video about it and let you know how it all goes. But I'm confident that I'll be fine. And I have no plans to cheat. I'll just stick to the meat. That's all I want. And no one's gonna, if I have to, I'll put some veg on my plate and just sort of push it around a little bit just to make it look like I'm eating other stuff. But I'll just fill up on the meat and just say, oh, I'm too full for this. And I can just get around it that way. I've got some little tricks up my sleeve. So
That's awesome.
You got this. You know it too. Just looking at you, I can tell that you know that you got this. So
yeah, I'm feeling so strong. I'm really happy. So
it does feel good. I was surprised. I hopped in the car yesterday and spent the first time I've been in my car in a few weeks, and I hopped in there and there's 2 brand new cans of tobacco in there. And I saw them and I was like, "Oh no, this is gonna get me in trouble." And then I was like, "Oh, I'm not craving anything. That's good." Because I saw them. I was like, I'm avoiding this. I had quit. And I saw those and I thought it was going to bug me and not a single craving. I was like, this is awesome. Because I really do attribute this to Carnivore because, Carnivore started, I don't know, it just gives you that really kind of the Carnivore Zen where your mind's just working better, you're focused, and those things don't bother you. They don't stress you out. They don't, you're not always on the edge of of a cliff all the time, walking on broken glass where any little thing can set you off. All of a sudden, you're like, "Yeah, that's fine. I quit." I'm not. This isn't a problem. So I was happy about that yesterday too. I was like, "Yeah," and same thing. I'm not at all worried about anything. On Thanksgiving and Christmas coming up, just because there's just no hold there anymore. It's just completely broken, and that's the thing that I always want to tell people the most. Because when they're saying, "Well, I do mostly keto or mostly carnivore, but I go back and forth," I'm like, I know you think you're easing into it, but that's actually making it way worse. If you can get that breakthrough you need and let go of those cravings,
get over that hump.
Yeah, man, it's so freeing. It's so awesome. It's just a great place to be in for yourself, for your confidence, for your attitude, just to be calm and kind of stress free in that area. It's a great breakthrough to be in.
And that's why I always say that the weight loss to me is just a cherry on top. And for me to say that at almost 800 pounds or above, I don't even know what I was, but for weight loss to be the cherry on top, it's all the other benefits that I've got, the food freedom that I've got now, that I can just go somewhere and see all this stuff, and I'm just not even tempted to even look at it or try it or eat it. I'm just happy. That is amazing. And I never, ever got that feeling from any diet, the weight loss surgery. Nothing ever got rid of that, fixed that. Carnivore did that for me. So when people are like, "Oh, you can just lose weight eating a balanced diet and all that." Yeah, but where's the off switch on that? I don't have an off switch. This is what works for me, that off switch. And
it's like somebody just took it right out of your brain, like a little cartridge that was in there, and it's gone. You don't even think about it no more. It's so freeing. It's, I could, a long time ago, I used to go eat, be full, sit down, and then I'd have the thought of food again in my head. And I'm stuffed, but I could still, just a little bit more of that would be great, because we were so addicted to everything. But now it's just,
I think we were addicted, but I also think we were malnourished.
We were a lot of things, but
yeah, I think
just to have that all removed is just amazing.
Well, and it's good to be able to trust your, when people, because people used to always say, "Well, you got to listen to your body." I'm like, really? Because my body's telling me to eat 3 pizzas.
Yes.
Some ice cream right now. So I think my body's full of crap right now. So,
it is.
but
believe me.
But now once you do the carnivore and things kind of clean out a little bit and you can kind of get your bearings, then you know the difference between a craving and what your
being actually hungry, right?
Yeah, actual cues that your body's giving you. And
What's
then when that cravings bust away and you finally get over through that wall and over that hump and you're free from that, then you can really start trusting these signals again, and they are pretty amazing. Like, I wasn't planning on quitting Copenhagen. I didn't think that it mattered, the chew, but I swear that my body was healing and it was giving me cues because things just started bothering me about it that never used to bother me. I didn't like it, and it just was like something subconsciously was pushing me to get rid of it, which was strange because I really enjoyed it for a long time, and I just wasn't worried about it. But when I started getting healthier and healing up, I didn't want it anymore. And then I was worried, man, how hard of a habit is this going to be able to, get rid of? Because it was over 20 years.
Right.
And I think it would have been a lot harder if I wouldn't have been on carnivore and just kind of healed up and just in a better frame of mind, because you're just so much more vulnerable when you're constant. You're just, I don't know. It's just like you can get manipulated so much easier by cravings and anxiety and these things. Like you're just so, I don't know. You're just so much more fragile or something when it comes to those things. Like you can be swayed so much easier. So I don't know. It's really quite amazing. But I think that's just what health looks like. I'm starting to find out, and it's a pretty amazing place to be.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I'll be carnivore for 2 years in January. January the 3rd will be my 2-year anniversary. And I haven't been this strong. It's only in the last maybe 3-4 months that I felt really strong. So it's taken me a long time to get to this point with my mindset. It's been a struggle all this time. There's always that, you see a commercial and you get the trigger. You see someone eating, that's a trigger. The social events which are always triggering. Each time you push through one of those events or one of those cravings, it just makes you that little bit stronger. Yeah, but I see people sometimes they've been on it for a week and they're like, when am I going to get this food freedom? Well, it took me a year and 6 months or a year and 8 months to get there. It's going to take some time and a lot of hard work, but geez, what a reward that is when you do get that freedom. So if you can just hang in there and try and keep consistent for as long as you can, and each time that you beat one of those cravings, you will get stronger.
Yeah.
It'll happen. Yeah.
What I had to do was I had to go through my YouTube feed because I had a bunch of channels on there that would have recipes of all the old foods that I would enjoy. And I had to go through and clean out my subscribers because I don't want to see that stuff no more because, I don't want temptation or to even think about it. And I noticed as the months went by, I can look at it and, it looks great. I remember having it, but I don't want it.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is such a good thing because it's funny. I have some old subscriptions on YouTube of chef channels and stuff because I used to still do love to cook, and I like watching them and seeing it because it feels so good to see how incredible it is and be able to imagine. I bet that tastes really good because I like to cook. But also not to have any cravings. It's like, oh, this is so freeing. There's a time where I would have watched this and I would have went and cooked this.
Something with a pizza would pop up on it, and the next thing I know is I'm ordering a pizza.
Right.
I don't do that no more.
Totally. Hey, looking at the calendar, so your 2-year anniversary is January 3rd?
It was supposed to be 1st of January because it was a New Year's resolution and I failed within hours. So then the 2nd of January, I contacted Emily from Steak and Butter Gang and I said, help, I can't do this. I need some help. I'm way too far gone. I need a helping hand. So she set me on the right path and here I am 2 years later. So
we're going to have to have
to the 1st of January.
That's awesome.
Start now.
Because my 1 year is on the 1st of January, so we're gonna have to have a carnivore birthday celebration. Maybe on that following Sunday is the 7th. Maybe our our show on the 7th will have to be a carnivore celebration. We can and or carnivore birthday celebration. We can
I'll
kind
add
of
that to our list.
yeah, we could kind of highlight the like the top whatever 10 changes or something since we started. That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
schedule that in.
that's
Done.
kind of neat. Let's see here. I'm going over our notes because I'm such a spaz. So, do we have any tips and tricks for navigating the social situations of the carnivore food? I'm so bad at this. I'll go first and just tell you I suck at these conversations because my tips and tricks is to tell them to kick rocks if they don't like it. That's my tips and tricks. But but also my family were little ruffians. So, what do you guys do?
I
Well,
don't
I'm
have a
going.
problem. Go ahead, Lindy.
Well, my plan is to eat meat first. Um, before I go to my function, before I go to Christmas, I'm going to have a steak. I'm not going
Emily's
to go.
sorry. I just saw this with Emily. She's got to join our birthday celebration because she said her 3 years January 2nd.
Oh wow! Yeah, well, book that in, Emily.
Yeah, pencil us in.
Yeah. So yeah, before I go to Christmas with Scott's family, my hubby's family, I'm going to be eating my steak. So I'm not ravenously hungry or anything before I go. I'll just be, comfortably full and able to just squeeze in something else. And obviously when I get there, I'll prioritize my meat first. I'm not going to have anything that's not carnivore. If I do decide to have a treat, like I will give myself permission. Like I don't like to have, say, a cheat meal every week or whatever, because otherwise I'll be like wishing my week away, waiting for that cheat every week. I don't like to focus on saying one day a week I'm going to have a cheat, but if there's a special occasion, I'll give myself permission to have something that is off plan. But then when the time comes, when I've done that in the past, dessert will come and I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll give myself permission to have that dessert. But then I'm like, oh, I don't really feel like it. And then I don't have it. But either way, if I do have that dessert, I'm not going to beat myself up about it and feel guilty because I gave myself permission to have that. If I don't have it, that's a win for me. So either way, I pass. So that's definitely, eat the meat first. I won't be drinking alcohol, but for those that do drink alcohol, try and limit your drinks and just stick with low carb drinks and maybe a spirits of some sort, like a gin and soda or something with a dash of lemon or whatever the drink is. I'm not a big drinker, so but that do drink. I think they're the safer drinks to have. I think Dr. Kenberry has the gin and soda with lemon. If he does go out, and that's probably once a year or twice a year or something like that. So definitely,
Nothing wrong with that.
he can gonna hurt, and it's a special occasion after all. So if you do have a function where you can take a plate, make up a carnivore platter. You can put your processed meats, you can put your cheese. Emily has a beautiful little cookbook, and to get hold of that, you need to be part of the Steak and Butter gang. And I think we have a link to their free forum in our description. And you can purchase her book. Yeah, and she's got some fabulous ideas on little quiches and all sorts of little things that you can make a beautiful platter with. Fat bombs and all sorts of different things. So when I went away for my girls' weekend, I actually did that and made a platter. And my girlfriends, they bought their carb crap platters, and they were going into my cheeses and my steak and my bits and pieces on my platter, and they loved it. And like I had bought enough to share with them, so I wasn't sort of phased by that. But so do make sure that you do an extra portion because I'm sure everyone else will dip into your
yeah, right. Because it is funny when they say how you're missing out, but then when you like like when you you bring the receipts to the party and all of a sudden you're bringing prime rib and prime rib and roast and, shrimp and lobster and all these things. And they're bringing like some contraption with green beans and some kind of cream mushroom soup on top with some crunchy onions and some canned cranberries and, some sweet potatoes and marshmallows on top. I don't think it's a fair fight.
No.
The meat.
Yeah, you're eating this nice big juicy steak. Who doesn't say, "Oh God, you're looking after yourself. You're eating well"? Who doesn't say that? They
Right.
all agree that looks delicious.
Absolutely.
Yet they're avoiding it because it's going to give them a heart attack and blah blah blah. I'm like, well, you try being 800 pounds and say you're not going to have a heart attack. Look at me now, and I'm just eating steak. That's all I eat.
Yeah. Especially with all the stuff that we were eating before.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. That wasn't a concern. Yeah.
No.
That's awesome. No, it's
Emily
funny.
is booked. She's on for our birthday celebration for January.
Bash. Carnivore birthday bash. That's awesome. No, I can't wait. Yeah, that'll be really fun. What will your time be? How in January, Mike? How long will that be? Like 6 months?
Yeah, about 7 months.
Yeah, so Mike can be on with a half birthday too.
Yeah, I'll be on there. Yeah, I'll be there
for sure. That'd be awesome. No, it'll be fun to see.
Yep.
Yeah, that'll be awesome.
It's amazing what 1 year difference can make. Yeah, the first year, obviously, I had a drastic change because I lost so much fluid and edema and stuff in my body in that first year. But even the second year, like my confidence and just the whole transformation as a package has just been phenomenal. So I still didn't have any of that last year. I'm still very shy and, here I am talking on YouTube with made some beautiful friends, and I'm just having the time of my life with this carnivore community because everyone is just so awesome. It's just been the best thing that's happened to me in my life. Yeah, one of the best things. Just love it.
Most meaningful thing that's ever happened to me for sure.
Same for me. It's amazing, and I can't wait till I'm where you guys are at to get to experience all the stuff that you guys are, and look at Lindy going around driving, and it's amazing.
Awesome. Yeah, it is just.
Well, when they make a car that goes across the ocean, and I can come and visit you. I just
soon.
Yeah, can't wait to meet everyone. That'll be awesome.
Yeah, it'll be fun. We got to get you and Scott over here so Scott can see his storm chasing clouds the whole 9 yards. That would be awesome.
I expect you all to be with his iced coffees. He's pretty bad. We need to turn him from dirty carnivore to full on carnivore. Yeah, he needs some inspiration.
I seen a picture of him the other day. I thought he was having a milkshake there for a while with that grin on his face, but no.
Yeah, he's like a little
iced coffee.
Yeah. Iced coffee.
That's fair.
Oh, I know that. That used to be my morning go-to was 2 of those iced coffees. Those things were addictive. But man, I didn't mean, that's what I'm talking about. Like when you start listening to your body, when I was quitting the soda that was so crippling, I accidentally, it was just a beautiful byproduct. I quit caffeine, because I could have drank iced tea and stuff, but I was doing that lemon drink that I was drinking. And I just didn't have caffeine for 5 weeks. And so that was just a fun side effect because I felt so much better without the caffeine that, now it's been 11 months with no caffeine. I don't miss it at all. And then I found out that caffeine doesn't actually give you energy. It just blocks the receptors to let you know that you're tired. So it's just blocking these receptors that are blocking the signal to your brain that tells you you're tired. It's kind of crazy, It's all the side effects that come.
Congratulations, Slow Life, on the 50 pounds. That's awesome.
That's awesome. Congratulations. That's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
so good. I love beautiful stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And 50 pounds is life changing. Like
a lot.
If you were to go pick up a 50-pound kettlebell and carry it to, the
Wear
other
you
side
out.
of your yard.
Yep.
You would be looking to drop that dang thing.
Yep.
50 pounds is life
Yeah.
changing.
5 bags of
Yeah.
potatoes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. It's
Big
crazy.
difference.
Yeah. And, we take that all for granted, especially when you got a lot of weight to lose. You sit there and go, oh, so what? I only lost 20 pounds. I only lost 30 pounds. I only lost 50 pounds. But yeah, if you just go pick that up in a bucket somewhere and try carrying it around,
Carry it around
it's,
with you for the day. You'll feel
yeah,
it.
it is a massive difference. And that's why I really think one of the, whatever with that kind of carnivore zen or just the better mindset, uh, you just feel so good. And now every day that it stops being about this ideal weight that you have in your head, this arbitrary goal. And really, you just look forward to waking up feeling better, having more energy, being stronger. Just every day gets incrementally better. And those add up to huge, huge things after a month, 6 months. I mean, it's crazy.
Mm,
You'll get there, man.
yeah.
You will
You
absolutely
will.
get there. Yep.
Stick to it.
Yeah, just
Don't.
Yeah.
don't worry about you know, don't worry about the scale or
Yeah.
all these markers of progress. You think just keep doing it and keep eating to make yourself feel as good as possible with, on carnivore, and everything else just kind of falls in line. It's incredible.
Yeah.
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 And it's not a race, no rush.
Nope.
You just trust the process, and your body is going to stop and stall and do all that because you've got a lot of healing to do as well. So
Yep.
just trust the process. If you stall, don't freak out. Just keep being consistent, keep doing what you're doing, and that scale will happen again once your body's sort of acclimatized to all the changes
Right.
that are going on. So,
My advice
yeah.
for you is don't play the scale game. Um, Weigh yourself once a month, if that, and don't let it get into your head if you're up a little bit. It's going to happen. It's happening to me. And then when the next month you're going to see a big drop. Just stick to the plan, and you'll be fine. You got this. 200 is nothing. You can do it. It'll take a little time, but I believe in you. So does Todd and Lindy.
Mm.
We know it because we're doing it. So it's possible.
Yeah, and it's just, I just remember every diet that I ever went on that was always doomed to fail. I went on it and I always had this time. I'd put a time limit on it of when I needed this to work by, and a number of how much I needed to get off of there. And I was willing to, just bend, just bend over backwards to make this work, move heaven and earth. And I was just going to do whatever crazy, intense thing it took to get to this thing. And man, those are always doomed to fail because you put so much pressure on yourself, and it's like you don't enjoy any part of it along the way. Not to mention, the starvation diets. There's nothing to enjoy, even when you're on the sad American starvation diets, and all you're doing is you're only addressing losing the weight, right? And you think that means health. Well, there's actually no correlation between losing the weight and health. You're not getting healthier most of the time when you're starving. You're actually making your situation, as bad or worse. It's just a different kind of bad. I can tell you that for sure because I'd lost 200 pounds twice and 300 pounds twice in my life and gained it all back. And yeah, I felt better because I was lighter, but it was incredible how sick and weak I still was after
Mm.
losing all that weight, and also mentally just completely beat up because I was so hungry and so depressed and so full of anxiety. And I knew that I always talk about how it was just like in the movies when you're gripping onto the ledge and you start losing your
Mm-hmm.
your grip, without a doubt you're going to slip and you're
Yep.
going to fall off this ledge and you're going to gain it all back. You are going to gain every bit of it back because none of the cravings went away. You did this whole thing through white knuckled, sheer grit in your teeth, just getting it done. And you did it for 14, 15 months, 2 years, whatever. But you knew the whole time it never got easier.
Yep.
Like nothing ever got better. It just, you were starving and miserable and weak and sick. You were just lighter. That's all it was. And then sure enough, and it almost made it worse in a way because now you had this thing that you're trying to hold on to too, because you lost this weight and you're just trying so desperate because this is really hard, but you're getting shaky and you're going to come off this wagon. And it happened every time without fail, and I would gain it
Same
all
here.
back. And it was the
And
worst
more.
kick. Yeah, and it was so bad for your mental health because you'd just be like,
Devastated.
you're so defeated, right?
Yep.
It was just the most crushing, defeated thing on the planet. But that's what's so great about this now. I'm not sitting there white knuckling on the edge of this,
Yep.
ledge ready to fall. I could care less. Like when I wake up, I don't think about food. I don't worry about cravings. I'm not worried about falling off of any diet. I'm
The
not on a
wagon. Yep.
diet.
Yep.
I am just eating awesome food, staying away from stuff that's trying to kill me, that
Yep.
makes my life exponentially worse than it is now. I just stay away from that, eat awesome food, and I just let my food and my body do the work now. And man, it is amazing. Like I'm almost out of the equation. Like all my lofty goals and
You're in auto drive
timelines, and
now.
yeah, it's
Yep.
just like I'm just along for the ride. It's like my body's doing what it, as long as I give it the right food and the right nutrients, it's just taking care of things. And I'm in way better hands with it at the wheel than I was when I was doing it, because I was terrible at it for sure.
Yep.
I think for all of us, it's not a diet for us. This is our new lifestyle. This is the way that we eat for the rest of our lives because it's optimal for us. We're just kicking goals and so many wins with it. So I think that is a big difference as well. People say, oh, well, when you start eating the normal foods again, you're going to put all that weight back on. Well, yeah, and do it because it's not optimal for our health to eat like that. This is working for us. Why would we change? I can live like this and just eat the meat. If we do go out and you have that, social, a bit of a cheat or whatever you want to call it, the next mouthful is going to be meat. I'm back on it next day. Like I have, my daughter turns 21 next week. We have a huge party for her. We're going to a cafe and it's they've got a big banquet menu. I've made sure there's meat options there for me and my husband. So we're going to stick to those meat things. There'll be other stuff for other people. I'm not tempted at all. I will give myself permission to have a piece of birthday cake, whether I have it or not. I'll find out on the day. I'm not stressing about it. I'm not even concerned about it. I'm going to do eat as close to carnivore, if not 100% carnivore that I can on the day. I've made sure that there were options for me. With the Christmas is coming up, I'm not phased at all because I've got my plans in place. I'm not going to say, oh, I've got Christmas coming up, my daughter's birthday and all these things. I'm just going to go off my diet now and just do what I'm going to, and
Right.
worry about it. I'm going to start. Like, there's none of that. I can do so much damage if I stop now worrying about all these functions. What am I going to be like if I went off now? On the 1st of January, I could do so much damage and end up the way I want. So, I'm just taking it a day at a time. On the day of the birthday, I'll decide then at the time when there's a piece of cake in front of me whether I'm going to eat it or not. If I'm going to eat it, fine, give myself permission, then straight back on the wagon and onto carnivore after that. If I don't eat it, there's plenty of people that will want a second piece. I guarantee you that.
Right, for sure.
And I'll sit there and I'll enjoy them watching them enjoy it, because if those people can moderate that stuff, good on them. I'm happy for them. Me, I can't. I have to abstain. I know that, and that is also another thing that you need to think about, whether you are a moderator or an abstainer. And if you are a moderator, well, congratulations. I envy you, but that's not me, and I need to stay away because I do have a big fear of just having that one thing that's going to make me go down that spiral. Yeah. And so there's always self-talk going in my head. Do you want to end up the way that you were? Do you want to go back there?
Nope.
And that 100% of the times it's like, no, I don't. I'm not feeling very strong right now. It's best that I do not touch this.
No.
Yeah.
So,
but it's funny, like you said, that you're giving yourself the permission, because it's almost like a trick that we're using to get rid of some stress or some anxiety ridden, mental whatever. Because I know what you're saying. As long as I've been on carnivore now, 11 months, I've had this, I made this deal with myself 11 months ago that I was actually going to be ketovore, but I was going to do strict carnivore. And then if I wanted to have a cheat day, I was going to cheat to ketovore. And since I've had that deal, I've never like broke it. It's still fine if I, in my mind, if I have a bad day and I fall back to ketovore, I don't even care. But it was just like having that there made me never want to use it. Like I wouldn't be surprised if when it's time to eat that cake, if you want it, if it was me right now, this close to my 1 year anniversary, if that came up, I would know that it was okay to do it because I gave myself permission. But I would also be like, I really want to slide into this 1 year anniversary clean. You know what I mean? And so and like either way, it doesn't matter, right? But I know that that's what keeps happening to me is these funny things like something will come up where I could go, cheat to ketovore or whatever and have a taco salad and a whatever. But I'm like, when I was quitting chewing, I was thinking about drinking ice, like iced tea again, not sweetened tea or anything, but just black iced tea because that was one of my favorite things. And I was like, man, it's really going to be fun to not have drinking in anything but water for like a 12-month period, just sparkling water and water. And I was like, I'm kind of looking forward to that. So it's kind of fun because you pick up this momentum and you have these choices where you're almost do it, but then it's almost more fun now to make these goals. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I went out a little while ago with a girlfriend of mine and we sat down. We hadn't seen each other for a while. We were having a chat. In the middle of the coffee table was a big bowl of Lindor chocolate balls. Do you have that Swiss chocolate? Do you have those? Lind, I think they're Lind. Yeah. So it's like little chocolate lollies, basically, in a big bowl.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I saw them and I'm like, whatever. Like, it didn't faze me at all. We were there maybe an hour or two just chatting away. By the end of that time, there was all but one had gone. They had all been eaten. While we were talking, my girlfriend was like one after the other, after the other, after ate the whole bowl. But and I don't think she realized that she was eating. It was just we were talking in the moment and it was just that habit of picking up and eating. And I kind of was watching and thinking to myself, yeah, that would have been me. And I don't think she knows that she had just eaten that whole bowl. And when right at the end, I kind of made a bit of a joke and said, oh, you've left one there. And she said, oh, that's dark chocolate. I don't like dark chocolate. I was like, okay, otherwise that would have been gone too. But it's just that habit of we were having a talk, we were enjoying our time together, but just that hand ear to mouth movement. And I don't even think she was aware that she ate the whole bowl. And she constantly tells me that, she's eating a balanced diet and doing all the right things and goes for walks and exercising. But it's that unconscious eating that has thrown her, and probably where her struggles are. It probably happens in other situations as well. I know that did for me. It was an old behavior that I used to have as well, and just seeing those kind of behaviors in other people, the excuses that other people sort of make and say, and I'm like, yeah, I've said that too, but now I know it was an excuse, and I was just trying to convince myself that this is the why I'm eating and trying to justify why I have to break a diet or whatever at the time. So it's just really interesting to watch other people now and see my old self in them. And it is very sad, but it makes me understand where I've come from and see those patterns that I used to have. But yeah.
That's awesome.
I just
one of the worst habits that I had was, and I was talking to Todd about this last night, is bringing food back to where I sit and watching TV, watching a show, watching YouTube, whatever you're doing. And I don't do that no more. When I eat in the kitchen. My food stays in there. It doesn't come back here no more. I don't want to associate the two together no more. Yeah, that was one of my biggest habits. And I know a lot of people do that. So the best thing to do is keep the food in the kitchen, eat in there. Once you're done, you're free from it.
Yeah, that makes a lot of
That's a
sense.
yeah, that's really good. Awesome.
Yeah. No,
Definitely
that
need to break those, don't you? Yeah.
yeah. I didn't start thinking about it until Raymond was talking the other day on the SPG meeting about even gum kind of creating this
Chewing on
like
it.
yeah,
Yep.
oral fixation and also maybe expectations of your body to have, calories or fuel or something. But I just was wondering that because that's why I was gonna use like beef jerky or something to replace the Copenhagen kind of oral fixation thing. And then I was thinking about using gum, but I'm so enjoying not not having to have anything that has anything to do with putting crap in my pie hole. So like what is that whole just cycle there that we have to do that? It's like we're always feeding, it's almost like you're feeding into making yourself a little bit more susceptible to some sort of eating addictions or different cravings and stuff. So I've
Right.
been kind of liking not having one less one less thing to just keep my mind on thinking about chewing on something, tasting something, whatever. It really is freeing, and that's what I liked about what you said there. you know not not eating when you're not eating in other areas. I should do that because sometimes when I'm working a lot and doing a lot of videos, so I've been bringing food to my office here so that I can eat a
Right.
steak while I'm watching one of the
Yep.
SPG things or some.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to fit it in. But I was like, that's pretty good idea not to maybe cross food over like some place that you're going to spend a lot of time, like
Time.
your
Yeah.
office or your living
Because then
room or
you're always
something.
going to want something while you're doing something. And I know, and I'm sure you guys too, through all the years, always when you're watching TV, you always get that craving that you want something to chew on or something. And leave it in the kitchen and not worry about it.
Yeah, so that
Mm.
it is fun because you just start. It seems like you just start breaking those ritual habits that you kind of made. Those just
Yep.
kind of, I don't know, mechanical, going through the motion
Yeah.
habits, just like Lindy
Yeah.
was
Just the
talking.
reaching for all the time. And just
Yeah,
like how Lindy's
Yeah.
friend was sitting there while she's talking, not even aware, just reaching in the candy dish all the time. And I
yep,
know I done it.
Yeah.
I'd had bags of candy, bags of chips and stuff like that next to me and just constantly reach for it. Can't do that.
for sure. Let's answer a few questions. I don't want to get people too far behind. That's great.
Beth says, "Oh, that's great. I vape and will eventually address that. No time addict for 40 years. That's great. Yeah. If you can get off that, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Best thing you can do.
yeah, I really think you can. It's surprisingly enough, I quit smoking in my life before. I also had a pretty good gambling addiction one time. I was pretty addicted to caffeine at one time and definitely addicted to Copenhagen. But all those things paled in comparison to quit and to really get under control compared to sodas. I don't know what it was about soda, but that was the worst and hardest addiction I'd had ever. And it was only Carnivore, that lemon drink, and electrolytes, whatever that combination was for me. That was the thing that it took to get me over it. And that really, I think, that was when I turned a corner on my health and really things started to improve. So I definitely, it feels good to start getting to a point where you're not dominated by any of these things anymore. Like you don't have to have any addictions, really. You don't have to have anything against your will or better judgment. It's a good spot to be in. So I definitely believe you can do it, Beth.
I think we have a new addiction though. We're addicted to feeling optimized, having optimal health. I just
That's a
want to be, yeah, just go, 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 and just I feel awesome. I don't want to have that bad feeling anymore. So definitely a new addiction for me, but a positive one, I think.
I think so too. Like I've said that several times about the bacon and stuff. Like I don't think bacon's bad for you. I
Yeah.
don't think chicken's necessarily bad for you. I just don't feel as good as I do when I eat the beef. And so I eat the beef because the beef makes me feel like Superman, and I love that feeling. So it's like if I can feel like this, why wouldn't I choose to feel, feel like this?
Uh,
Like the bacon doesn't taste good enough to make me not want to eat beef and feel like Superman, basically.
right.
And I find pork and chicken. Like I feel a bit queasy with pork, but if I eat those, I'm hungry within an hour. I start thinking about food again. It's like I need another meal. Whereas if I eat beef, I can go like many hours before I start thinking about food again. So it definitely sustains me for a lot longer.
I picked up some pork sticks that were on sale, and I thought they were great.
Yeah.
And they're a cheap cut of meat, $1.99 a pound. You can't go wrong with that.
No, for sure not. Those are,
Yeah.
yeah, I had my kind of weeks that I just craved nothing but pork chops.
Yeah.
And I would eat those for a week or so solid. I just crave beef so much now just because I don't know what it is, but it makes my muscles feel good when I eat
Yeah.
beef. Like it feels, you know, that feeling when you get up in the morning and you stretch and your
Stretch. Yeah.
muscles feel good when you stretch, you know? Well, now when I do that, when I eat beef, my muscles feel like that all the time. I sit at my desk and I'm going, gosh, why do my muscles feel so good on beef? Like there's just, it's like all the stress and all the swelling and inflammation and stuff is gone when it's not like it's there when I eat pork, but my muscles don't feel as good. When I eat beef, it just feels, your body just
Different.
feels so good. I can't
Yeah.
explain it, but it's like almost like a euphoric feeling. I love how beef makes me feel. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Janet says, I have been on a 6 month stall, but think due to stress from eye surgeries and presidential eye drops,
Yeah.
disheartened.
Steroid, I
Yes,
believe.
Prednisone, I think
Yeah, it's
that
a
is.
steroid, isn't it?
Yeah, prednisone, I think, is a
Yeah.
steroid that, yeah, that's the steroid. I won't get into a dark subject, but yeah, that is a steroid.
yeah.
Um, been in
Stress
a,
is no good. Definitely. It raises your cortisol, which makes it
Yeah.
difficult to lose weight. I mean, just as long as you keep consistent and let your body heal. This is your time to heal. And stop focusing, if you can, try to stop focusing on the numbers. There's probably some body composition happening still, and your body just needs time to heal. So I
Yeah.
think,
And you also have to get rid of all that's out of your system too, and it's going to take a little while. So,
yeah, yeah.
but
There's
stick
no
to it.
rush.
No, no rush.
for sure. And I think there's I think that compoundedly helps you when you don't rush, you know? I think it's that's funny. Yeah, they're gonna get better for sure. Uh right now they're a little soft. Uh but I think that does help you for sure to not put on big, pressure on yourself and these dates and stuff. Like it's okay to have a 3 month stall, 6 month stall. Just stay the course and don't make it all about the scale and stuff. Because what I found, because I've had several stalls over the last 11 months now, I've had like three, and I don't know. I think I've actually been stalled out about 5 out of the 11 months. Like most of it was like out of the 6 months, out of the 11 months, I did most of my losing, and like five of them, the scale wasn't moving, um, and it was things were just getting stalled out on me. Part of that was my fault for not eating through those things because some of them
Right.
were I was getting hungry and I couldn't figure out why, and it made me nervous, and so I I didn't eat and I white knuckled it through this stuff, and I think that actually hurt my metabolism going through those because I actually felt like everything slowed down, you know. And so now it's feeling, now that I'm doing the priming stuff too, I'm gaining weight, especially since I quit the Copenhagen. I've gained quite a bit of weight now. I found out, but what's crazy is I was surprised. I was just telling Lindy and Michael, I was surprised to see that the scale went up so much because I feel so strong right now. I feel
Yeah.
super strong, super good energy. I'm sleeping really good right now. And this is a new thing for the last 4 or 5 days, finally, since I got over the Copenhagen problem. I'm finally sleeping really good. Sleeping 6, 7 hours at a time without waking up. That's real new. I haven't done that in 5 or 6 weeks. I was sleeping 2 hours, 3 hours in a shot, and then being up, couldn't fall back asleep and stuff. So everything's feeling so good. And then I hopped on the scale and I basically gained like 38 pounds over the last 2 weeks now. Obviously, some of it's fluid. I'd say quite a
Right.
bit because I have some fluid issues. But I think some of it was muscle too from eating like a maniac for 5 weeks. You
Yeah, all those
like
eggs, huh?
all those eggs and all the because my composition in my legs, everything is just getting firmer and just leaner, muscles popping through on my legs. And I mean, I would never guess that I was heavier this weekend because I was so this is the best I felt in the longest time, you know.
Right,
So I don't know. I don't know what to say about those stalls anymore unless it's a stall in energy. If it's not a stall in how you feel like if you're feeling good too and you're getting stronger and your clothes are fitting better, I don't know that I don't know that those stalls even matter anymore, you know?
right.
I
So
follow Kelly Hogan. Look Kelly Hogan up because I think she was on like a 6 or 8 month stall, and she still had a lot of weight to lose back then. And they discovered she was having a bit of sweeteners in her drink and a few other little things which sort of helped kickstart that. But obviously, her body needed a lot of healing as well. And just listening to her story was comforting for me when I was going through a bit of a stall because, geez, I still got so much weight to lose as well. I was like, how can I stall? I've got so much weight to lose. I'm not at nowhere near my goal weight. How is that possible? But it happens, and you just have to, yeah,
yeah.
just do a little bit of research. But Kelly's a really nice, good person to follow as well. Twin Maples Carnivore Homestead. We are doing Friendsgiving the Saturday after Thanksgiving. Smoked turkey and half a hog that is in my backyard, raising our own old spots. Half a hog. Wow, I guess that's a pig. We call them
Yeah,
pigs
Yeah.
here.
it is. Yeah,
Yeah, that's awesome. No, that's a great idea too. And this brings me or reminds me too, if you guys can put in the chat, maybe put a R or something in it before it, but can you put any of your recipes or ideas for what you're going to do for carnivore
yeah.
Thanksgiving and Christmas? That'd be great
Yeah,
so that people can see those any ideas
Good
or
ideas. Yep.
yeah, I know we'd all appreciate it. But yeah,
definitely.
that's I do remember we used to do hog roasts when I was a kid, and those are always fun. They were synonymous with other bad things, but you know, barbecue sauces and pineapple glazes and all that fun stuff. But the hog roasts are a great time. It's a great time to get everybody together for sure.
Well, maybe we could do that when I eventually make it there for for like 4th of July, because that's when you'd have your big fireworks thing, isn't it?
Yep, you got to
We'll
come
do
out.
a
Yeah, we
spit
do.
roast.
I think
Yeah.
this year we did. I think they did 12 pork shoulders and 12 briskets and like two or 300 burgers and 2 or 300 hot dogs. And then they did a bunch of I think chickens. I think they had like 20 or 30 chickens. It was yeah, it's a big one. We got a huge smoker that we put everything on, and Thomas is the pit master. He does an awesome job. And then yeah, we just have, you know, I don't know, like 3 or 400 people brought side dishes and stuff, and so it's just a an absolute arsenal of side dishes and
Right.
food and
Food. Yep.
craziness.
It's July, Michael and I had our birthdays, and you got your 4th of July. So when we've all reached our goal weight, so we've got plenty of time to start saving, we'll have that meet up in July and
That'll
do
be
a big
awesome
firework and
Yeah,
a whole
that'd be
half,
awesome.
do a
Yep.
half. I want a whole hog. Not that I can eat much, but I still want a whole hog. I think that'd be awesome.
for sure. Yeah, you ever
And
seen them cooked? You put them in there in a spit, or you do a
They
lot of the times they'll do
rotate.
them underground, but they got the apple in their mouth. It's always kind of funny.
yeah, I still like my meat in a packet so I don't see the face because I don't associate where it came from. It's just like, it's a piece of steak. Nice. But I don't like to think of it as a nice, cute, fluffy animal.
Hog
Yeah,
cheek
I'm
is
a
pretty
bit funny.
tasty. I got to tell you, hog cheek is pretty tasty.
I never had it.
uh,
That's all right.
let's
I'll get my
see.
hubby to bring a plate so I don't have to see the apple in the middle.
Yeah, just go around the back end. That'll make you feel better. uh,
Marilyn. I let go of artificial sweetness finally.
It's awesome.
Yay! That's so difficult to do. So well done.
Yeah,
Well
very well
done.
done. Because that is, man, I mean, I wish they would do like a independent study on what it is about artificial sweeteners and carbonated soda syrup or whatever that combination is, because it is just brutal. I don't care if it's sugar in soda or artificial sugar in soda. That combination is so addictive. I would love to know what it is, because there's something going on there.
But those sweet tastes, even from sweeteners, that starts my carb monster going again. I start craving again. So that's why I've had to get rid of that sweet taste. So sweeteners don't work for me.
Yep.
Hey, Hoosier. I saw
Hey.
I saw you on Homestead House members only. That's awesome. I saw you in the pictures there. I'm way glad you guys got to do that meetup. I'm jealous, but it was short notice, and you guys are so far away from Montana.
And you have a meat hangover from the Chicago meetup yesterday. Wow.
That's
Yeah, I'm
awesome.
looking forward to seeing the videos. I think he's
It's
put out a little bit of video, Kerry. So yeah. Still a little starstruck. Kerry, Dr. Hampton, Emma, Elisa, Robin, Carnivore, Grandma, Carnivore Brothers. Yeah, geez, what a lineup, hey?
all the fam, the carnivore fam was there.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome. I'm glad you were there, man. It's a good time. I bet you guys had a blast. I saw the place you guys were eating at. It looked dang right fancy.
Twin Maples. I also fight for the old part of my life as a chef. Adding herbs and spices seems so easy and natural. I have to treat each thing as something to drop and watch carefully when I edit it back. Yeah, that would be difficult. I used to do a lot of cooking too because my heritage is Italian. So my nonna was the best cook, taught me all her recipes and the beautiful pastas and things like that. So we always had lots of different things in the cupboard. And nowadays, my cupboard is very sparse. There's not a lot in there. But I'm loving the simplicity of it. Although last night my daughter came home, she rang me from, she said, oh, I'm so hungry, can you make me some pasta? And she gets a box delivered every week now, and it has recipes in there with all the food that she needs, because obviously I don't buy any more food. She's going to be 21, so she looks after herself. So I pulled out one of her recipes with all the ingredients, and I started cooking the meal, and it was pasta and it had all the carrots and bacon and the sauce and all that kind of stuff. And I really enjoyed making it, but I didn't touch any. I wasn't tempted by it at all, which I thought was pretty good because pasta was my go-to. I love my pasta. They had sugar in brown sugar in it. And I always I didn't put the whole lot in because I'm like, sugar's no good for you. So, well, she doesn't know what's going to hurt her. So
She could be watching.
yeah, she's still asleep. Yeah, I kind of modified the recipe a little bit. Like spinach would come out of the bag because it was stuck to the sides. Oh, that can stay in the bag. I threw it in the bin. So, yeah, sort of reduced those bits, but she enjoyed it anyway.
How were you when you were smelling the food cooking? Was it?
Oh, it smelled delicious, but I just wasn't interested.
No cravings?
No.
That's good. That's awesome.
Yeah, triggered because I'd already eaten. I had we had steak last night, so I was already full. I was satiated. Yeah, I was able to cook it, and it looked lovely. But I just didn't. I know what how it would make me feel if I ate it, and I just have one or two bites. I'd want the whole bowl. So, just by not going there, I was fine.
Yeah, for sure.
It's taken me a long time to get to this stage, so yeah, I can understand. And being a chef as well. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that would be difficult. It's gotta be tough. I just like to cook for a hobby, but yeah, it's like you spend a little bit of time learning how to use slices and spices and flavors and layer flavor profiles and marinate things, and it makes a big difference, and you start to understand those things, and then you're like, I can't use any of these. I mean, you can, but it all becomes all of a sudden about how you cook it instead of what you can put in it. But yeah, no, I get it there, so it's kind of like fun now watch the cooking shows and stuff, but not have to, go do it. You can still appreciate it, but also not get thrown off the rails. I don't recommend that if it triggers you, but I've been enjoying it,
Yeah.
knowing that because it's fun to see that I can be not even really tempted by it anymore. I wouldn't even say that I'm getting tempted by it because I don't have any reaction to it whatsoever. If I did get tempted by it, I'd probably have to quit because I'm no good with, with being tempted with anything. It just lost its
Yeah.
power somehow. It's kind of crazy.
I do love watching cooking shows as well, and I can watch all the desserts and all that. It doesn't faze me. What triggers me is the carnivore cooking recipes, carnivore bread, carnivore ice cream, all those things, because I know I'm not going to be able to moderate those, and I don't want to see those because then I'm like, oh, I could have some carnivore ice cream, but I can't moderate it.
Right.
So I stay away from all the carnivore cooking channels and books because it's too tempting for me. But other stuff, carby stuff, I know it's no good for me, and I know I don't want it. So it's much easier.
Yeah. All that stuff looks great, and I just don't want to blow it where I'm at right now. I want to stick to what's working for me, and then when I get down more, then I'll start introducing more types of stuff. But I'm happy with what's working right now. I don't have no cravings. Don't want none of it.
Sure.
Tanya, how can I stop sweet cravings? Please help. Time. It takes time. Just continue eating meat if you're happy. Sorry, if you're not. If you're hungry, just eat meat. If you've got a craving, eat meat. Just
butter. Put a little piece of butter in your mouth.
Yeah.
I got to say this. I definitely fought that super hard, and it was my nemesis for several tries at broken keto, and I could not get it, could not get through. And my why got very serious, I got very, very sick, and I wasn't sure if I was going to make it through it. So I had all the reason to fight. And so that kind of got me more focused on it. But my real breakthrough was when I kind of made myself a promise that I wouldn't fall off the wagon until I'd basically filled up on bacon every time. So every time I had a sweet craving that was about to derail me and I was going to fall off the wagon for, I would tell myself, I can go ahead and break, but not until I go make bacon and eggs and eat until I'm stuffed. And then an hour after I ate that bacon and eggs, if I still wanted whatever it was and it was still, just mind blaringly loud in my head, this craving, and it was just deafening to me still, and I just had to have it, then I would say, you can have it, but you just got to eat the bacon and eggs first and wait 1 hour. And that was the only deal. So all I cared about every day was just taking it day by day. And every sweet craving that came up, that was the only deal I had to, that was the process. And I even thought about it that way. Look, I can have the sweets. I just got to go eat this bacon and eggs first. If I eat this, then I can have the sugar. If I eat the bacon and eggs, I can have the sugar. Basically, is what I was doing. And luckily enough, after I'd ate the bacon and eggs every time, I didn't need the sugar. The craving went away. So I never had to go that extra step and get there. It never allowed me. And there's actually a reason that I was doing that. It's because I knew that I didn't have any appetite control from leptin. Leptin is a hormone that's supposed to tell you not to eat, when you're full. I didn't have any sensitivity from leptin because when you're insulin resistant, you generally don't. But I also knew that you have the second line of defense, and appetite satiation is in the stretch markers in your stomach. And so I was just thinking, like an engineer, like if the first safety switch is dead, trigger the second one.
Right.
And that was the stretch marker. So trigger it with good carnivore fatty food, trigger the stretch markers, and try to shut up the craving and the noise. And that worked spectacular. That was one of the things that doing strict carnivore, which is BBB and E, butter, bacon, beef and eggs, and salt. And then I had to drink this lemon drink that I talk about that got me off the artificial sweeteners and the soda. But that combination of things with that like emergency protocol, that freed me. And I know that I talk about it over and over, but it's so incredibly amazing to me this day that that works so well, because that has given me a whole new life, a whole
Yep.
second chance at this, and I can't brag about it enough. And I think it worked for more reasons than I was just thinking. I know that it worked because I was able to, actuate a switch that would shut down that craving at the time, and I was using the stretch markers, but also I was using these intense cravings for sugar, and I was using those cravings in conjunction with the same uh, rituals and habits I was using for my old sugar addictions, and I was making new addictions and new cravings for bacon and eggs and beef through those things, because I was so ravenous for the sugar, but I was feeding it the bacon. I ended up craving bacon and craving
Replacing it.
steak.
Yep.
Yeah, and so
Yep.
because like 80% of the ritual was still the ritual, it was just the end result was what I was eating. So I ended up with whole new habits for good things, and it was an absolute blew my mind one day, 5, 6 weeks later, when I was, because my cravings would always happen the same way. It would usually be in the morning because I'd have a bad night's sleep. I would have went, maybe went to bed craving something, went to bed tired, didn't sleep good, wake up full of stress, and my brain would just be like, it's all over, you can't keep doing this, all that stuff that happens to you in the morning, that would happen to me. And then I would wake up, and I would want some, I'd want pizza, tacos, whatever, that would be the thing. But after 5 weeks of doing that and eating the bacon and eggs, I woke up and I'm like, I was having the cortisol freak out in the morning, and but all of a sudden it was like, "Yeah, I want bacon," and I was like, wait, what? Like, instead of wanting pizza, my brain one morning said, I want bacon, and I was like, I was like, wait, I want bacon? Do I really want bacon?
Bacon.
It was incredible because I
Yep.
finally was craving the right thing. So hang in there, but feed really hard on the good things, stuff yourself, try to out eat yourself a carnivore past any of those cravings, and then just be real strict about it, and I think you'll get it in just a few, 5, 6 weeks. And
Mm.
it's really hard to feel like you're starving and have to have these things when you got a belly full of bacon.
Yep.
Like you're not starving.
Her
I guess this
Carnivore
is where
uses. Oh, go ahead, Lindy.
priming comes into it. Steak and Butter Gang, Raymond Nozon has a program called priming, and you basically feed like it's your job. Eat meat for 3 meals a day, and just keep eating for like 2 weeks. It depends, different for each person, but I definitely recommend having that support community as well. So joining the SVG forum, which we've linked below. Pop in there. You've got a whole community, people struggling with cravings, and whatever your issues are, that you'll find one or two or 50 people with similar issues, and you can talk
Yep.
in the free forum, get that support. You can also reach out to Bella. Her emails are in the forum, and you can sign up for an accountability buddy. So she'll hook you up with someone with similar issues, and you can talk to each other via WhatsApp or any social media platform, and help, I'm struggling, what do you recommend? And you just have that accountability person there to help you get through. And that support was another thing that I needed, because I suffered so much with cravings, and also the family not being on the carnivore way of eating, and that just triggers you to keep wanting to eat. So having that support system in place as well really helped. And then the priming, which completely nourishes your body and helps stop those noises in your head, so that you can, just focus on eating the meat, and then you can sort of your body eventually just slows down. You just find you're not as hungry, and those cravings just sort of quieten down a little bit. But if you're not nourished, you're never going to get rid of those cravings. And also, if you're triggered by sweet taste like I am, that's probably with sweeteners, and even just anything sweet tasting would trigger me. You probably need to avoid that too, if that's an issue for you.
Yep. Carney says, another great channel to follow, guys. Carnivore, he's doing it and he's showing you how to do it. He uses the frozen butter method. I haven't tried the frozen butter yet. I just go in the fridge and just take a little piece of it.
I didn't until I started priming. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I thought you guys were all crazy. So I was not a fan of like when I was a kid, I didn't even like unmelted butter on my toast. Like if a clump of it got on there, I
Right.
wouldn't even eat it. So I had like a mental block against that. But then when I was priming, I started eating cold chunks of butter, and now I'm a fan because it just makes my attitude so much better, and I get more mental energy out of it like immediately. And yeah, it curbs cravings. It's like a candy now. It's crazy.
Tanya, I work at Walmart and there are sweets everywhere.
Talk about this guy.
Oh.
Whoa, what
What was
happened?
that?
I heard my own voice.
Yeah.
My phone. I'm
Do
sorry.
Let's see.
So it's hard. I was never a sweet person. I actually find it a challenge to go into situations where I went to my daughter's shop the other day and one of the girls was having a birthday and they had a tray full of Rocky Road and donuts and all these things and all the girls were eating stuff and they're like, oh, hey, Mum, did you want a piece? I'm like, thanks. And I don't know, I find that I love that challenge of being able to say no and then feeling really proud of myself. I don't know. That's a weird addiction to have, but yeah, I'm enjoying that now. What a place to be from where I've come from, hey?
Absolutely. Let's see this one.
Yeah, that's one I haven't tried before. I think that's a Kelly Hogan cake. She makes the Oopsie cake, and I have seen the recipe, but I haven't tried it because I'm scared that it might be irregular on my thing yet. So definitely, I will try it one day though. Maybe you can make it for me, Emily.
I don't know what it is, but it's got cake in the name, so I'm down.
There was cheese, like a lot of cheese in it. Was it Philadelphia cheese or
Ooh.
what do you call it there? Yeah, I think there was that in it. Herbrelina, I'm bringing bacon, deviled eggs to my brother's family's Thanksgiving. Used to bring 2 pies. I love
eggs.
Yeah, haven't had them with bacon. That'd be nice.
I bet that's good.
So I'm gonna just guess, but are you making bacon mayo for the deviled eggs? I bet that's what you're doing because that would make really good sense. The mayo is what I'm having the hardest time with. They say you're supposed to have like avocado mayo, but that stuff is so gross. I can't stand avocado mayo.
I think Nisha Berry has a bacon mayonnaise recipe. But yeah, those deviled eggs, I might make some for Christmas too and take them to my daughters. They sound yum.
That sounds good. My thing is, and which, like, I don't know, I'm not going to get that hung up on it, but like, I can't have deviled eggs without vinegar. Like, I like the vinegar profile in deviled eggs. And, but it's like, I don't know. It's one of those things like Ken Berry is a mustard carnivore. And I think I'm just going to have to be a vinegar carnivore because I like it too much and I can't see any downsides to it. So,
Diana. Hi, Diana from Victoria, Australia. 23 kilos down, 9 months, 74 centimetres gone. Love listening to you all. Hi, Diana. So we're neighbours. I'm in Victoria too. So that's awesome. Welcome to that.
Congrats.
Yeah.
That's amazing. 23 kilograms. That's a lot, right?
Yeah. It's like 40 some pounds, no?
Oh, that's huge.
I get my head around all these stupid differences. Yeah. It does.
But congratulations, Dana. That is amazing and great work. Oh, here we go.
Did any of you have trouble with blood pressure? Mine keeps fluctuating, keeps going low. I'm on BP tablets as doctor has dropped the dose twice now. Well, he might be dropping the dose because you're becoming healthier. So he needs to account for that. So,
I was on blood pressure medication too before I did this, but I chucked all my medication because I was certain my doctor was just trying to buy a new Ferrari or something with my my monthly habit. So I chucked it all. And when I went carnivore, and then I was having some fluctuations in my blood pressure, but that actually stabilized when I started taking electrolytes. And I don't know if I was having a sodium problem. From what I understand, you can have high sodium if you don't balance the other minerals, like especially potassium and zinc, I think. If you balance those, your body can finally kind of pee out some of the excess sodium, and that can help your blood pressure too. But I don't. I'm I'm definitely not a doctor, but I know that the electrolytes made a difference for me in that area.
Definitely research Dr. Ken Berry, and if you type Dr. Ken Berry blood pressure, I'm sure he's got 1 or 2 videos just on that topic, and he'll be able to give you some advice there. Definitely. Hey, Belina, my blood pressure went way down after 90 days, cut my 2 pills in half. That has never happened in 30 years.
That's awesome.
Fantastic. Yeah, I definitely recommend doing it with your doctor's help, obviously. But do check out Dr. Ken Berry's video as well, so that you are armed with some knowledge, and then you can maybe recommend to him, this is what I want to do, really support this decision, and just monitor my progress. I think that's the best way to cope with that.
The other thing about blood pressure is you have to sit and relax for a few minutes. If you're going into a doctor's office and they right away they want to rush to take it right away, tell them to wait until the end of the office visit. Because the same when my doctors come out and visit me, they want to take it right away. I say, listen, let me relax. I just got up. I went to the door to let you guys in. Give me a couple minutes. Let me calm down. And then it drops down because I was right on the edge of having high blood pressure and I didn't want to take the meds. So I says, give me a few minutes and it'll rest. And 2 months into this, my blood pressure, when she took it, was 106/62. Just this past week when she was here, it spiked a little bit because I was kind of excited telling her about everything that's changing in my life because I haven't seen her in so long. So I had 119/68. So let them take the blood pressure at the end of the office visit and it'll drop.
That makes good sense.
Yeah.
Question for Todd from Carnivore. Todd, did you eat a large quantity of eggs to increase your testosterone? If so, is it working for you? Has it affected your weight loss at all?
Hey, Todd ate so many eggs that the chickens run when they see him.
Todd's about to poop some feathers, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wasn't it?
Exactly. Todd Bachness, like they said. Yes, I am taking it for testosterone, and anecdotally, it is working. I'm gonna take a blood test on the first of the year, my 1 year Carney anniversary. So right now, I can only tell you anecdotally, like Coach Raymond would say, sorry, ladies, but basically the morning glory is back. Let's put it that way. So I have to say that it's working. But also, I just feel much, much better, And anybody that's had.
You built up too.
Yeah, I did. Like I got a lot more muscle on my upper body. Now it's starting to come through on my legs. Also, I was eating a ton. So yeah, now it's affected my weight. So it was weird. At first I lost up to 8.5 pounds, and then the scale started going the other direction. And so, yeah, I think I always have to try to separate the fluid from actual body weight because I gain and lose fluid so easily. The only medication I still occasionally take are these fluid pills, and I only take them maybe twice a month or something when I feel like I built up on fluid, and it's getting better and better every time I do it. But so I think right now I actually went from an 8.5 pound deficit. I think right now I've gained about somewhere between 8 and 12 pounds of weight. So it's probably been about a 20-pound shift over the last 4 weeks, but I don't care. I was actually surprised by that this weekend because I weighed today because I was doing it for the show because I was wondering how things are going on the priming and everything. And it surprised me. I was expecting to see like a way lower number because I had a really busy weekend and I was working and I felt great. I felt strong. I had plenty of energy, plenty of stamina. like range of motion, mobility, balance, everything was great. Sleep is great right now. So it's crazy that it went up. But I'm certain that, my body's just healing. Something's going on. Something's healing. There's a composition change going on. So yeah, I think it is affecting my weight. I think it's affecting. I think I'm getting heavier because I'm getting more lean muscle mass and replacing, fat. Because my shirts are still fitting looser and looser, and my range of motion and dexterity and everything's just getting better. So it's got to be something like that. But I'll know here soon enough. I can't wait till I get through a full priming or fasting cycle and see what that does too. So that should be really good.
Emily, yes, addiction transfer, addicted to health optimization. I love that.
It's
Yeah.
real. It's definitely real. Like you do get it's I guess you could say our addictive personalities could be used for good or evil, like, we're like one of those movie villains. It's a real thing though.
Hey, Bellini, you're so sweet, Lindy. I would raise an eyebrow if my friend had laid that out knowing my journey. Thank you.
All right. Oh, that was funny.
Kind of like Sophie say he had the 6-month stall and then bam. Yeah, look, everyone has stalls, but you just push through, keep consistent, and your body just needs time to catch up, to heal. It knows what it's doing. Just trust the process.
Totally. I definitely agree.
Pursuit of bliss. It's usually just me for the holidays, so I fix whatever I feel like having that week. This time of year, rib roasts go on sale at store I frequent, so maybe that's what I'll have as a side, and a side of salmon. Very nice. I do love good salmon. Yep. Yeah. It's like surf and turf.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. Yeah, I love salmon too. I like raw salmon. I really like I love raw salmon. I don't know what it is. It's the only thing that makes me feel as good as beef when I eat. In fact, raw salmon makes me feel as good as beef does, but it happens quicker when I eat it. Like I feel almost euphoric when I eat a bunch of raw salmon. It burns up so much quicker. Like raw salmon doesn't last as long as beef does for me. It's kind of crazy, but I do love raw salmon. And like I was saying, I used to love my favorite keto meal was to take thin slices of raw salmon, and then I would I'd put prosciutto over it, and then I'd spread cream cheese over it, and then I would put capers and lox and pickled jalapenos on it, and roll that up, and it was like my own keto version of sushi rolls. And I would eat. I mean, look out when I would do that. I would buy like a 12 pounds of salmon. I'd eat 12 pounds of salmon in like a week doing that. It was crazy.
I like sashimi. If we go out as a family, it's normally to a Japanese restaurant, and I just order sashimi and prawns, where I have to, break the prawns and shell them and eat the table. It's all nice and fresh. It's beautiful.
Yeah, sashimi's wonderful. I just love. I don't go to do the sashimi thing because I want the wasabi and soy sauce so bad with it because I love wasabi and soy sauce on sashimi. Okay. I can't say it right now. My tongue getting twisted up. Sushimi.
So Carnivore's going to have all the meats: ostrich, venison, lamb, goat, alligator. Wow. I wouldn't know how to cook half of those things. The lamb's the only one I cook there. And I've had goat once, but I didn't like it because it was full of bones and I had to, pick all the bones out while I was eating it. I found that frustrating. But I definitely cook it again without the bones, although they say it makes the meat taste better when you've got the bones in there. But
I've had ostrich egg. I've never had ostrich. I've had venison. I've had lamb. I've had goat. And I did have gator once, and gator is not my thing. Gator is pretty gross.
All I ever had was venison and lamb and goat. Never had alligator or ostrich.
Jasmine, prime rib, Piggy poppers, yeah, Cassie from Carnivore Quest YouTube video. I didn't watch that recipe because, they look a little bit deadly for me. Want to avoid, but yeah, they did sound nice.
Piggy poppers. I'm gonna have to check those out. They sound good. So they're like, do they have like jalapenos in them?
I'm not sure. I didn't watch the video, but it sounded like a cheap meal to me. Yeah.
We don't want that.
Kenton, I like your live chats. You three make a perfect combo for me. Yeah, we're the three amigos. Yeah.
Yeah, we are. Yep.
Thank you very much.
Janet Clark, that's a great suggestion. Eat your protein and fat before going into a craving. Yeah, definitely. If you fill up on your meat and you nourish your body, hopefully that craving will just disappear.
Yeah, it definitely worked for me. I had to manually throw the off switch before it started doing it automatically, basically, because I definitely needed that. Because I wish I would have met the SBG gang and Lindy earlier on to know the terms, be a substainer, because I was definitely not a moderator. That was not in my vocabulary.
And the other thing you need to think about is if you go to the fridge and you do not want that boiled egg or steak or bacon, or that doesn't sound appealing, you're still craving something else. Are you actually eating because you're hungry, or because you're eating for comfort, or you're bored? Or you've got to find out, is it an emotional hunger, that craving, or is it because you're fully hungry? So if you're hungry, you would eat that steak, you would eat the bacon, you would eat the egg. If it's eating for comfort or you're bored or whatever other reason, go for a walk. Go and read a book, hop in the bath, have a shower, brush your teeth, distract yourself, and hopefully that craving will go away. You just want to break that habit.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, I don't know, because now that you're saying that, I'm trying to think. I don't know. I think it was all emotional. When I would wake up, I wasn't hungry in the morning. I was just having like a cortisol, anxiety freak out. And I was used to, getting an endorphin fix off of something terrible to make the anxiety go away. And so I think I was still eating for anxiety. I wasn't hungry because I surely wasn't craving bacon. I was craving pizza. You know what I mean? So I definitely wasn't hungry, but also it worked.
Yeah.
Like I was able to flip that switch and put fat in there until that. So it was a way to make it stop, but because I mean that makes good sense. I never thought about it that way until you just said that. I definitely wasn't hungry because I wasn't wanting steak or beef, and they didn't sound good. Like bacon didn't sound good, eggs didn't sound good. Cheese sounded kind of good. I always like cheese, so that always sounded kind of good. But beef and stuff didn't sound good. But pizza and tacos, and ice cold Coca-Cola. That's really what I think I was always missing in the mornings, because I was used to going and getting those 2 iced lattes with pumps and pumps of sugar. Usually do a iced caramel macchiato, which is just, it's probably got the most sugar ever. If you've really looked at it, because they're just solid caramel and more sugar and vanilla in them. And I would get 2 large ones of those and knock them down. But that was like my sugar drug fix in the morning that I would combat the cortisol with. So yeah, that's probably why I was doing it. But at least I was able to hit the off switch, because it's like it's almost hard to have a craving when your gut's full of bacon. You know what I mean? So I think that's why it worked. But for sure, that's an interesting. Because what are you supposed to do with it? Like if you, like, let's say you are hungry, and it's from emotional things. What are you? I guess you could go for like a run or something, or like
You just need to find something to replace that emotional thing. It's like the hand to mouth thing, that comfort thing. Go for a run, have a bath, brush your teeth, hop in the garden, do some grounding. Try and change behavior with something more positive that's going to be healing for you.
So change,
Yeah.
make a habit change. Like
Yeah.
Jordan Peterson says, don't try to take anything big out unless you have something good to replace with it, because avoid is a dangerous thing. You could get rid of a habit and get a worse habit if you
Yeah.
don't have a plan to fill the void.
I know it's hard in the wintertime, but during the summer, a good habit to switch to, if you want like a crunchy feeling in your mouth, get in like an ice machine that makes those. I forget what they're called exactly. The ice that's like crunchy. It's little chunks of it. I know Chick-fil-A has really good ice,
Yeah.
and then just put that in your mouth and you chew on that, and you're getting. It feels like you're eating something, and you're just all you're doing is water. And I know
Huh.
when I was in the hospital, I was doing that, and that helped a lot for like cravings. For like you want to eat something.
Yeah.
And Dr. Berry also had those salt rocks that you get from, I think, Redmond's Real Salt. And
Yeah.
they used to
And you just
Yeah, and
yeah.
I've got a packet of little ice like, salt crystals, and I might just pop a few under my tongue. And if I'm still hungry after that, sometimes that's enough to just get rid of that craving. It just gives you something else to do. But yeah, sitting in front of the TV, if I'm sitting there, my mind automatically goes into that. Oh, I think I need something to eat, and I know I'm not hungry, so I play on my iPad. I color in like it's a paint by number thing. So my brain's keeping my brain busy by doing that while watching TV. So it it stops that eating motion, but I've got my iPad there and I'm distracting myself with that. So that's how I watch TV now. So I don't think about food.
Yeah. That makes sense for sure.
Yeah, don't have that iPad. I automatically think, oh, we should do a DoorDash or something, and I don't want to go there. So
No.
Oh, isn't that
just have
funny? That is funny. Like, we've been kind of watching some movies together, and it's been a while since I watched a movie. And I was sitting there just last night or night before last watching Mission Impossible. And I was like, for whatever reason, my head popped in and was like, you should get a DoorDash. I'm like, where did that come from?
No.
Like,
Yeah.
it was
yeah.
just, it was
Habit.
literally just a link between the movie
Yes.
and me sitting in the dark watching a movie. Something triggered in my brain because that would have been back in the day. That was time to
What you
order a
would have done.
pizza.
Yeah.
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 You know,
I'll
Your
while I
whole
was
world,
watching.
your whole world is built around food. So you sit down, watch a movie, you watch a show, whatever. You always think they go hand in hand together.
yep,
Yeah.
for sure. That's funny.
I don't know.
Uh,
Just cooking.
oh, that's Chris Cooking Nashville has the most amazing carnivore recipes. I've seen his channel. Again, I don't watch them because I'm too tempted by carnivore recipes. I find them triggering, but I'm sure he's got some fantastic recipes.
I loved him too, but when I watched him, his recipes are so intricate that I just know I would never do them. Like, like they are so over the top. Like he made remember because I think if this is the same guy I'm thinking of, he's the guy that made like a really good mashed potato clone out of like egg white, um, dehydrated egg white powders and like 50 different things that he put in there. And I was just like, good on you to figure out how to make mashed potatoes out of egg whites, but there's just no way I'm doing that stuff. Like anytime somebody starts opening their cabinets and they got like 75 things that I've never even heard of before, much less owned, like I'm out.
Yeah. And I guess that's why I like carnivore because I like the simplicity of it. I just take a steak out of the freezer,
Oh,
don't change, in the air fryer, and then I eat it, and then I finish. That's it. This like I've got no. I'm not focused on the food anymore. I don't need the rainbow of colors. I don't need different textures. Just give me a steak, eat it, and then move on.
yep.
Yeah.
And I just that ease.
I do like a little bit of fancy occasionally, but and I totally get what LC's coming from too, because this guy's channels are amazing. Like I like to watch them because they're so crazy, but it's almost like watching Gordon Ramsay cook something that you can't eat though, because his stuff's so over the top. Like it's just to me, it's not even in the realm of something that I'm gonna cook because it's so over the top crazy. If this is the guy that I'm thinking of, because yeah, he does make some amazing, like he makes some crazy amazing pizza recipes and stuff, but still I get so nervous of that realm when I was in dirty keto that I know that just pulls me down pulls me down a dark place, you know.
Right.
Definitely if you're socializing, if you've got guests coming over, trying something new is always exciting, isn't it? So,
For sure.
yeah.
Yeah, I had fun. I made my mom a bunch of quiche muffins this weekend, and those were fun. You know, and I even put I gotta find a happy medium with mom, and so some of them had green onions and chives in them with a little bit. But anything that makes her eat more, she just needs to eat more carnivore food because her stomach is so small. But she loved it, and some cheese, some cream cheese and stuff, and those were fun because it was fun to get to cook again and kind of play around and have a little bit of fun without creating myself a bad problem that was going to take me into a spiral, you know. So that was
Right.
fun. I haven't heard
Has
from
it
him in a while.
got, yeah, he's put a few shorts up, but that's all. I'm not
He's
sure what.
he's got his second channel that he posts readings on nightly. So
Oh,
I know he's
good.
still around. He's just probably taking a break from his other channel.
From his carnivore channel.
But
I got you.
I miss his nightly get-togethers.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I gotta send him a message to say, "Are you slacking, Scott?" I think he did work really hard to build his gazebo and stuff, so I suppose he's taking a little break, and I bet he comes back after the holidays, you know, or maybe even just after Thanksgiving. So
Yeah.
Kenton lost a nephew due to some stomach cancer at 54 from chewing and tobacco juice going into his stomach, more to dipping and chewing. That's just a bad habit. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so sad.
So
So
sorry.
sorry.
very sorry to
Mm.
hear you. Yeah, it is a bad one for sure. It can definitely get people. I'm so sorry for your loss.
Hi, Keith. Kiwi
There he is.
Carnivore. Hi, Michael. Glad to catch your live stream.
How you doing, buddy?
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
Keith, right?
Yes.
Hi,
I
Keith.
met with, yeah.
Yeah, Lindy, and it's like I'm so brain dead. I couldn't. You changed your
Mr.
logo or
Mr.
something.
Mr. Thumbs Up in
Yeah,
SVG Zooms. Yeah.
we should just give Keith these every time he.
Pursuit of bliss, that's what I do, Lindy. Like I have a self-care Sundays and do things to address the emotional hunger. And I also give myself the textures I enjoy, crunchy meat crisps and something creamy. Very good. Yeah, whatever keeps you, consistent and you do what you need to do. And self-care Sundays, that sounds nice. If I'm going
Yeah,
to treat myself, like I'm treating myself tomorrow, I'm going out with my daughters and we're getting our nails done again. And we'll probably go out to dinner after that. My daughter wants calamari, so I'll have some squid as well. But
Good.
yeah, just doing things. You don't have to treat yourself with food. Go and get your nails done, or hop in the bath and put some, light a candle and read a book and lie in a nice warm bath or something. You can do. Doesn't it? You don't have to pay money, but just treat yourself to self caring and pleasurable things. So
yeah,
you deserve.
totally. I yeah, I definitely for me, I just pour myself into my work lately, which I really like because my day job keeps me busy, and then I like this YouTube stuff is fun, you know, just because there's so many people to meet now, and so many awesome stories to share with people, and this community is incredible. So I think
Yes.
that's what I find myself filling all these gaps, these holes with, you know.
I reckon and at church potlucks, I fill up my plate with meats and deviled eggs. No one even comments what anyone has on the plate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I wonder that too, as well, because I hear so many people worried about the social aspect of it. But does anybody really care what you put on your plate? Like, I really wonder that, you know?
some people do because otherwise I wouldn't say anything if they did. Yeah, it
Well,
depends. Yeah,
I
depends who the
mean,
person.
some people, I guess what I'm saying is I hear people talk a lot about them worrying about other people worrying about what they're putting on their plate. And I just wonder if, I'm sure that somebody says something at some point, obviously there's probably a million scenarios you could come up with, like a family member made her special dish and she wants you to eat it. And you're like, I can't eat that type of thing, or like they was bringing up an SBG the other day when it was their neighbor, their cultural thing was to bring them food, as
Yeah.
just a tiding thing. So I could see those type of things, but just like if like in a like if you just went out and said, hey, I just want meat, like somebody might say something. But man, if it went much further than that, like somebody grilling you on it, like I don't know, I just haven't been in that situation, so this is much of me just asking as anything. Because like, do you really get grilled on it? Because like if I got grilled by somebody about what I was eating, I would be like within a couple of minutes, I'd be like, why don't you worry about your own plate? Like, what are you doing
Yeah.
paying attention to my food this much? You know what I mean? Like it would come off weird to me.
So I absolutely love your attitude. I do care what people think about me. And usually social functions, I don't eat much. I normally, because I don't want to, people can see I'm a big girl and I feel like they're judging me if I'm eating something. So I normally don't eat a lot at social functions because I'm hiding in the background. If I go to pick anything up and they see me eating, they're probably going to be like, oh, she's eating and look at her kind of thing.
Yeah.
So we would eat on our way home. We'd stop off and buy takeout because I was so hungry after seeing everybody eat. And that was my way to cope. So I don't, maybe a closet eater, I guess you'd call me, because I wouldn't eat in front of people.
Yeah, I can definitely relate with you there as far as that aspect about anything that I put on my plate, right? Like I was that way too. Like if we're at a big meeting or whatever, I was just like, especially if it was an important business meeting, we're having a lunching or whatever, that was weird. Because then I was like, oh, like you're so big that the magnifying glass is on you. What is this guy going to eat? Is he going to eat 3 hamburgers and, the entire dessert rack? Like, you think that's what they're thinking. So that way I can understand. But when I'm out with the type of people that I do eat with, like openly, like these are the people that I'm going to eat with, those are also the people I'd be like, get your face out of my plate and go get your own. Like, what do you care what I'm eating? Get out of here. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm comfortable enough to be sharing really a dinner time with them, I'm also going to slap them in the forehead if they're giving me too much trouble about what I'm eating. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
but there's always someone to say, oh, aren't you going to have any salads or vegetables with that? And obviously my answer would be no, but I don't like to say that. So that I do put that stuff on my plate. And like I said, I'll just push it around. I don't have to eat it. I'll just eat the meat. It's just on my plate for decoration. That's all it is. Just so that they don't ask me if I'm going to eat that stuff, because I don't want to put myself in that situation where I'm going to have to justify why I don't want to eat it and start that conversation.
Are you telling them what they can eat? No. So why are they putting their business into yours? It's
Yeah.
When people,
I'd just rather avoid that confrontation.
I know.
Because I don't
totally.
I haven't sussed that person out, so I don't know if they're going to attack me for it and tell me, oh, you're going to have a heart attack and all that crap, or whether they're going to say, oh, that's interesting, or until I know that person, I just avoid it.
But the funny thing is, if you had it loaded up with a bunch of sweets and stuff like that, they wouldn't say nothing at all.
No.
Mashed potatoes and
my when people ask me, what, aren't you going to have any salad? I say no. My dinner ate my salad for me. It's more efficient that way.
That'll be me next year. I'll be ready to do that. But this year, I'm just going to orders with this Christmas. Like, I'm still worried the brothers are going to come up. My husband has 3 brothers, and my husband's the quiet one. He's the nice one. The others are very boisterous and joke around a lot. They drink and smoke and they do everything wrong, which is fine. That's them. But they're the people that will be coming up, hanging a piece of pavlova or something in my face, saying, missing out. And yeah, so I've got all that to deal with. Next year, I'll be on their back. I'll be doing a Todd.
Yeah. That's something that my brothers would do too. And you just got to ignore it and just,
Yeah,
totally.
That's a big yeah, big step for me to be going to Christmas this year, but I'm determined to do it, and I'm going to be proud of myself when I come out and I'm bouncing out of there nicely and happy, and they're all like sloths trying to
Yeah.
full bellies and hungover, and yeah,
Yeah, totally.
yeah. With you on that, Todd. Just cook the meat. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's good. It's just funny, right? When you start doing the carnivore thing and then you really start waking up to it because you got this other group of people and it's like they're like, oh really, I can't believe you're just going to eat that. I mean, that sounds so restrictive, it sounds so terrible. And I'm like, what? I mean, today I had ribeye, I had New York steak, I had bacon, I had eggs. What'd you eat? And they're like, oh, I had Fruit Loops this morning, and then at lunch I had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and now for dinner I'm having ramen noodles. I'm like, what?
You think that's healthy?
Yeah, it's like, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, woo, I'm missing out. You just ate a bunch of processed junk. You could have ate the cardboard box and got about as much nutrition out of it, you know?
Probably would have tasted better too.
Yeah, I mean, like, I get the sugar aspect of it, but that's
Right.
literally these people that are making these cases. They're making these cases because they get a fix out of the sugar. They are drug
Right.
addicts.
Yeah.
They're getting a drug fix. And what they're really saying is, you're not going to get high with me too.
Yeah.
You know, like that's
And
all they're saying.
you know, and we were all there as well, so we
Totally.
know how it is. You know.
Yeah, and like I'm not faulting them for it. I know
No,
I was there for
it's
38 years, but the logic of the argument does not
right.
hold up against.
No.
You know, I like you should be jealous of what I'm eating because I'm having Fruit Loops and you're just having that crappy prime rib, you know?
Right.
Like that makes no sense anywhere.
I wish that we can just take them and put them where we're at right now and let them feel that difference, because then they would realize that they don't need that.
Yeah, I want remember the point, what was it? The point of view gun in Guardian of the Galaxies where the robot had the point of view gun and he could shoot people with it. And this, it was really funny because the robot had suicidal depression.
Mm-hmm.
And so at the end, that's how he saved the world, was he shot all the bad robots with the point of view gun. They all got depressed and passed out.
Right.
It felt so bad, but it was the point of view gun. It would be great to have one of those so you could just go, no, this is what it feels like to be free from sugar. Bink, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Like,
Let
it'd
them
be
experience
awesome.
it. Yep.
Totally. Let's see. Yep. You
That's
you
what.
needed two of those. You should have put two of them up. I love Keith.
Kent and I agree. I'm a lazy cook. Older I get. Great thing about meat: no veggies to chop, no potatoes, no onions to peel, and no baking. And the list goes on. Yeah, less dishes, less everything. I love it. I just love the
So simple.
simplicity.
Yep. I love it too. It's no longer
Yeah,
it's no longer a chore to cook dinner.
Nope.
yeah. And I enjoyed cooking my daughter's pasta last night because it did bring back all those old memories, and I enjoyed
Right.
flipping around the kitchen. And then I saw all the dishes and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to do those now. But if I had to do that every night like I used to do,
Where's your
no way. Yeah, it's too much. Once every now and then's okay, but no thanks.
Yep, absolutely. And yeah, it is just much easier. You know, yeah, it's a simpler menu and things, but also, I mean, that is one of the parts that I love about it, is just the simplicity of it. The grocery shopping, so much easier. You don't have to run all over the grocery store. You go to the meat shop. You know, like that's all. That's the only spot you go. I don't personally even go to the grocery store. I just do Instacart and order it, and they bring it to my door. But like compared to all the other crap that I used to do when I was, you know, you're buying seasoning packets and sauces
Mm-hmm.
and vegetables that had a 3-day shelf life and frozen stuff and, you know, marinades and, you know, dirtying
Yeah.
dishes and chopping up stuff and whatever. And now
Yeah.
I'm
Barbecue
just,
sauces. Yeah.
yeah, now I
So much
literally
stuff.
just, yeah, it's like, it's so crazy. Now I just buy prime rib and New York strip roast and
Yeah.
I chop them up and vacuum seal them. And I take them out of a bag and I put them in an air fryer. And then I take them out of the air fryer and I eat them off my cutting board.
Yeah.
I haven't used a plate in quite some time.
I've been going through all the stuff in my pantry, and I've been giving it away because I know I'm never going to eat it again. I don't want it.
No, it's like there's all this stuff. Like I've literally my life is reduced to this 1 gallon water jug. This is all I drink out of, and I eat off a cutting board. I have my favorite knife. I don't
Fork, and that's all you need.
I barely use a fork because I like to grab it. I slice it, and I like to sop up the juice and get some bits of salt over there. And now I eat like a carnivore.
So do I.
And I spend a lot of time in front of the computer because my job is mainly email based. So I'd be spending hours and hours on the computer. Dinner time would come. My husband would come home from work. I was brain dead from being on the computer. My husband's been out at work all day. Who wants to cook? And it's like, you've got all this food in the fridge. I don't feel like cooking. I've had a big day, a lot of emails, blah, blah, blah. My husband's not going to cook because he can't cook and he doesn't know. So we'd order. And then half the time everything that was in the fridge would be thrown out because it had gone off and wilted and mouldy and whatnot. And we'd just be taking out because it was convenient. So cooking was just too difficult, as you said, with all the dishes and all the recipes and
Yeah, and it was expensive. Now that I look at it, how expensive, people think carnivore is expensive.
Oh.
The main ingredient in carnivore is a little more expensive, but you don't have to have all the other
stuff, right? Yep.
Yeah.
My fridge is basically empty. I know I can actually see the back of my fridge now. It's unreal.
I love that. I love that when I open up my fridge, I can
find exactly what you're looking for.
Yeah, because I have a shelf of meat that is thawed out. I have a shelf that's 1 day away from being thawed out because I put them in there. So my meat that's almost thawed out goes in that shelf, and then my meat that is thawed out goes on this shelf, and that's my meat.
That's it.
Yeah. Then eggs. Not even joking. You should see the shelves I had for eggs because I was putting 20 dozen of eggs in my fridge at a time. Yeah, and so it's just like meat. Mom's got some creamer and stuff in there because she makes some of those keto chow drinks because with her gastric bypass it's easy. So it's like creamer, and then the door's full of butter. All butter. And I'm like, I love this. Oh wait, I passed one, I think.
Yeah, Laura, tomorrow is my birthday, so I'm going to make myself a sugar-free cheesecake from a Cheesecake Factory recipe. Yay, happy birthday, Laura.
Happy
birthday, Laura. That's awesome. I won't ask. I was going to say, what birthday is it? But it's not polite to ask.
You can ask a lady that. Happy birthday, Laura, from Steven from Carnivore.
Yes, sir. Happy birthday. Michael, he moves the chat on me, and then I'm like, where was I just at?
It was a follow-up, so I wanted to.
I know, but you do it, then I'm like, where am I? I'm so lost. All right, I'm gonna let you put me back because I don't know where I was.
Oh, all right, let me see where we're at here.
Yeah,
we are. 1 second.
Oh, here we go. There we go. I found it.
There we go.
All right.
Heath, what's been the toughest thing social-wise that has happened for you all? What with Christmas and New Year's Eve coming soon? I'm a little worried. Well, I've avoided all social occasions. So, this will be my first one. And as I mentioned earlier, I think the toughest is dealing with Scott's brothers who are very rowdy and noisy, and they joke around and banter, and it's all very... I don't know, it's all very innocent, but I take offense very easily. So just dealing with that, which I'm worried about. The food-wise, I'm not. Like, I know I've got a plan of action. Go in there, eat my meat first. I'll put some colour on the plate just for decoration, and I'll just push it around a bit. So I'm set with that. I'm all good with that. I won't be having dessert. And I think people don't judge when a big person doesn't have dessert. They're not going to say, oh, you shouldn't have that. So that's not going to be the issue. The issue is vegetables and salads. They're like, where is it? And they make a big deal about that. So, just dealing with what they're going to say. And I'll just change the subject, keep a low profile. I'm not going to talk to anyone about carnivore. My husband, on the other hand, I am worried about him because he's very verbal about it.
I could see Scott walking in with a T-shirt that says "Carnivore" on it and flags.
Oh my God! Just eat meat. Keep calm and eat meat. I think that's his latest T-shirt that he wears everywhere. And he's dirty carnivore, so he'll be eating like his mum's chocolate ripple cake and all the other things. He won't not eat. Yeah, he has to have those. So he's a bit of an oxymoron, and that's a little bit embarrassing because he preaches and then he's going against it. So I'm just like, yeah, not looking forward to that part either. So he'll be making all the noise. I'll just sit back and keep quiet.
But if I remember right, your family, they're not exactly super thin either, right? The brothers.
No, they've all got a weight problem.
Yeah. So when they're eating their carrots and stuff, ask them how it's working for them. Is what I would do.
They're not even there. They don't have. They're not like health conscious at all. They do have a lot of alcohol and they smoke and they eat a lot of processed food. So, but it's just the banter, which gets a little bit too much. Because I'm a sensitive person, I take offense. Whereas to them, they probably don't realize it's upsetting me. So it's just my own demons that I need to work on.
For sure.
Yeah, that's why I love talking to you. I love your attitude and the way that you deal with things. It's so nice and strong.
I'm going to send you through the Big T boot camp of sarcasm, and we're gonna give you some zingers to hit.
You got to make a class for that.
For sure, because that was our what I was a kid. That was my defense mechanism. Was I was just crazy funny, and I'd just hit them hard with sarcasm because most things that people say when they're trying to attack you, most of the time they're being incredibly hypocritical, right? Because like that's why I was thinking in this position, if they're asking you, why you're not eating carrots or whatever, it's like, well, it's working fantastically for you. How's your, scotch or your cigarette or your cigar or whatever? Like that's an oxymoron to sit there and give health advice when you're overweight, smoking cigars, drinking alcohol, and you think that the carrot on the plate's the thing that's going to turn that ship around. Like it's,
I definitely think we need to talk to ourselves in our own head and just, we know what we're doing is good for us. We feel amazing. And look at the other people. Do they look happy? Do they look healthy? Are they talking about all the ailments and health issues that they've got? If they are, then it just confirms to you that you're on a good thing here. And you don't want to be the person to preach and say, oh, you've got to do carnivore. You can get rid of that in this and you can get rid of pre-diabetes. You just, in your head, is just be thankful and proud that you can just eat your meat and do that. And but we are our own worst enemies, I think. And Absolutely. We're the ones that are hardest on ourselves. And they're just having a joke about it and they want to give you a hard time. And we just have to make sure that we don't let it get to us and derail us. So you've got to try and be strong yourself.
Yeah, couldn't agree more.
When you're driving home after the event, you'll be so like, oh, I did it. Yay, win.
That is such the truth, too. Like, that is such the truth because I get so encouraged now on these little victories that I have about not caving in. Like it's crazy because they're starting to add up to big numbers, And so, in fact, I did a podcast here a while back with this guy's name was like he's a podcast called The Fat Guy Forum, I think. Right. It was a 2-part podcast, but I didn't know he was going to do it at the time, but I had talked about that and he put it up there. I think he called the episode Todd's Big Numbers because I said, I'm getting addicted to putting up big numbers, big weight loss, big consecutive days of not having caffeine or sugar or carbohydrates or, and now chewing and those things. And just like that, that's why I haven't had this big taco salad thing, and I've done a few things. Like I've had some vinegar and then like when I was making my mom's quiche, I had, there are these little muffins. They're about like that and that. Mom had some green onions and chives in them and a jalapeno. And I had 3.5 of those and testing the different batches that I was making for. But like, I wasn't, it didn't make me crave anything. So I don't count that against it. Like, what I'm talking about is like, when I go off the rails, I'm going to know I went off the rails because it'll be like that day where like, if I just don't eat my body weight in taco meat and sour cream and cheese, I'm going to have a a conniption or something, like if that was something that ever happened to me. That's the kind of thing that I had built this plan for. But it feels good to never have to cash in that cheat card, right? And then I love what Michaela Peterson said the other day. She said, I don't like the term cheat because she said that gives the connotation that you're getting something of value out of it. Like, you cheat to get ahead, you cheat to win, you cheat to get a higher score. Like when you eat bad on when you eat bad, that's going to make you sit there. You're not getting ahead. There's no positive. Yeah, those are what I made. Those ones right there had. Let's see. I guess my cursor doesn't go up there. Yep, those are what
Ways
I
over
made for
here.
Mom. Yep, and I had 3.5 of those puppies throughout the day testing those.
Yeah, and I can see the jalapenos over here.
Yeah, those were the jalapeno ones.
They're the egg and bacon quiches for your mum.
Yep.
Yeah, they look awesome.
Yeah, and so those were like technically that was like a cheat, but to me it's not a cheat because I wasn't having any cravings. I was literally doing that because I was making them. Those, by the way, are a bomb. Those have prosciutto for the muffin cupcake holders. So on the bottom, yeah, they're lined. The bottom of them are lined in crispy prosciutto. Man, were those good!
Prosciutto, yeah.
Yeah, those are tasty.
Whenever someone comes to visit, I'll buy the prosciutto.
Isn't prosciutto awesome? Prosciutto tastes to me like what bacon wanted to taste like. Like prosciutto is what bacon wants to be.
Yeah, for sure. The real stuff. Beautiful.
It's so good. Yeah. And so but I'm trying to make something extra tasty for Mom that has a lot of fat and a lot of protein in it because she's got the gastric bypass surgery and she can only eat like 8 ounces a day. And so when she's just eating the meat and stuff, she gets satiated and she just doesn't want to eat. And that's a problem. So I'm like, I got to make something that's awesome. So those were Swiss cheese, cheddar cheese, cream cheese, bacon, chives, and green onions in the center, and then some egg around it in a prosciutto little muffin cup. And those worked out really well, and it worked. She loves them. So now she's eating like 2 of those every meal, and they're just packed full of protein and fat, and so I'm hoping that that'll get her some strength back.
Yeah, I'll make those for my husband to put in his lunchbox for work. So he has his steak for lunch, but he gets peckish and because he drives a bus, he normally likes to stop at the petrol station, grab his iced coffee and a chocolate muffin or something. But now he's got those in his lunchbox, or I make like a meat slice just with ground beef, salt and an egg. I just sort of squash it all out, cut it into little squares, and he has those, and that fills him up so he doesn't buy all that junk now.
That's awesome.
And
that's so good because you're just if you it's crazy, but making a plan to be successful and knowing what your weaknesses are and when those weak moments are going to hit. Like I didn't get successful either until I had created I had to create this environment where everything that was bad for me was like hard to get a hold of and out of reach, and everything that was good for me had to be super simplified, and everything that was carnivore had to be super simplified right there and ready to go, or else or else my weak little sad American diet fog brain was just gonna wimp out and I wasn't gonna make it.
Right.
So that's awesome. It's great that you're doing that because yeah, I think if we could just find a replacement for Scott's coffees, keep him cold.
Well, if he fills up on that, he doesn't need the iced coffee. But the last 2 weeks I haven't done that, and the iced coffee slipped back in. So I just need to, after this meeting, I'll go and make another slab of some things and carnival quiches, and get those ready so we can fill up his lunchbox.
That's awesome.
Laura, people are busy thinking about what others you are thinking about them. Actually, we spend more time caring about others' opinions and they rarely think about us. It is usually family who butt in. Exactly right. Yeah. We are the most hard on ourselves.
Michael's going to laugh at me because he told me not to take my fluid pills before the show.
You got to go, don't you?
I'm going to go take a...
they're not going to bother me, you said. No, they take hours to kick in.
They usually do. It's only because you were giving me a hard time. I've taken them a million times. Whatever, my bladder's going to explode. I'll be right back.
Okay. I knew it. I told them.
It's best that he gets it out now because at the end of the show, he's got another beautiful story to tell, and we need
does
him
he?
to be.
Yeah.
We need
Which
his
one
bladder.
today? Which one are we telling today?
The
Which
toilet
story?
one.
Oh,
The toilet one.
yeah. Oh, that's a good one.
It's appropriate. So yeah, we want him to have a
I
clear
hope he
bladder.
brought his. I hope he brought his A game.
I'm sure he has. Yeah. No, he's got some real good stories.
Yeah, he
I love
does.
listening to stories. Oh, you can drive. Got another question for us?
Yep. There we go.
Jake, I fortunately loved meat so much that whenever meals were centered or catered for at work, I would have more meat when everyone else was tucking into the desserts.
Nothing wrong with that.
Win for you if they're not eating the meat. Go for it. Enjoy it.
Right.
And yeah, you'll be feeling fantastic and be able to get on with your work, and they're going to be having these food comas and food babies and feeling crappy. So
and wondering why they don't feel good.
yeah, it's sad to see it, but it is what it is. And until they see the light and cross over to our ways, there's not really much we can do about it, is it? But
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, more meat for you. Win-win.
That's right.
Oh, that was quick.
I'm back. I ran. My teeth were floating. I'm so much happier now.
Facetious bliss. Never had too much concern about the social aspect of my dietary choice. I've bought food for myself to eat. No one ever said anything negative. Usually there's a comment about wanting my food. Exactly. They all look at you and think, oh, geez, you eat well. And I was like, exactly right. Yeah. As I said, I think we are hardest on ourselves. Other people will have a little bit of a comment and they've got to say something because it makes them feel good or whatever. But it's just the way that you handle that situation. And I'm a softie. I take everything to heart and I need to harden up. So I'm getting there.
For sure. Yeah. Well, we could tell just from the time you've been on here, you're a much stronger person since you've been
You
doing
are.
these videos.
Yes.
Sounds like a yummy way to celebrate.
Absolutely.
Balance, some of my favorite carnivores live. Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much. That's awesome.
Keith, nice, Michael. I keep the bad foods out of my cupboards. It used to be too tempting for me.
Yep. Get rid of it.
And you don't even have to, because I know you might have other family and stuff, but at first it's real important. But I got to tell you, my mom was a junk food hound. Now I got her on carnivore, but even with all my mom's terribly delicious looking food like donuts, and she get donuts and pastries and cakes and cheesecakes and all these things that were on the counter. And boy, once I got that switch, that didn't even matter. Like I could stand,
You walk right past it. Yeah.
walk right past it, didn't even care.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't really have much in the cupboards. We've got a few things that we use for when visitors come, and I might make up some recipes. But any sweets, my daughter keeps everything in her room, which is awesome because I don't go into her room. And my husband doesn't bring anything home either. If he does eat out, it'll be out and about when he's at work. So it makes it a lot easier when they're supportive like that.
Totally.
Laura, I got some stew meat chunks at Sam's, and I throw a bunch in a superheated pan with butter and super crispy outside. And today we have some crispy hot pepper chips in oil. That sounds really good.
That does sound good, actually. I gotta get more into those things. Like Michaela Peterson's always talking about the crispy things. I gotta try those.
She's gonna be 64 for her birthday. Happy birthday again.
Oh, that's awesome! Happy birthday!
But you're aging backwards.
You
I
are.
just think they're just a number. Like I'm 52, but I don't feel 52. I'm feeling much better now.
Oh.
I felt 90, 120 before 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Could barely move.
I didn't want to move.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, when I was 18, my oxygen saturation was 88%, and I was on Advair and nebulizers and all this crap. Yeah, and now off all the oxygen, not taking any of the medication. Oxygen's at 96% saturation. I feel better than I did when I was 18 now. No joke.
Yeah. I like Keith. I like when the coaches always ask how you were doing. The coaches are amazing. I left SBG gang for a little while because I thought I know everything I need to know now, and I don't need them anymore. But I do. I need that community. I just love them so much, and their motivating stories, listening to all the inspirational the people with all the things that they've reversed, and hearing their struggles. And I was like, yeah, that was me. Or I could learn from that. I'm always learning, even today. So I'm now back with them because I just love the community. So the coaches are awesome.
I think he was saying here too that they ask how young you are, and yeah, totally. Yeah, because we are aging young. You know, carnivores are getting younger. You know, I've been trying to. So I'm working on them. I'm going to make some T-shirts just for fun, because I want to turn the Chuck Norris jokes into carnivore jokes, because that would be kind of fun. Like, you know how do you know do they have the Chuck Norris jokes in Australia, Lindy?
I've heard of Chuck Norris, but I haven't watched any of that. He's like a martial art or something, is he?
He is, but he's an American folk hero at this point, where there's just all these jokes like Chuck Norris was once bitten by what was it? A king cobra, and after 7 agonizing days, the cobra finally died. Like it's those kind of jokes. I don't know. There's just a million Chuck Norris jokes, but I want to start making those type of jokes because somebody said Big T scurvy check, and I'm like, carnivores don't get scurvy. Scurvy gets Big T.
Let me know. First customer, I'll buy one for Scott. He loves these T-shirts.
That's good. I was thinking, I'm a T-shirt guy. I love making funny T-shirts. I have a fireworks business, and I make hilarious T-shirts for a fireworks business, And so I was just like, we got to start making Chuck Norris. In fact, anybody in the chat, if you can come up with some funny, like Chuck Norris style carnivore jokes, that would be awesome.
Post them in the comments and after the show.
Yep.
Grateful Keto, eat before you go and bring deviled eggs and butter and bacon bits. I am so going to try that. Yeah, I'm definitely taking a plate of that to our Christmas with my daughter.
That sounds delicious.
Yeah, I'm sold.
Really you had me at bacon bits and butter.
For me, it's hard going to my parents' place. Indian family, most Indian food is anti-carnivore.
Yeah, that is.
I love my food.
Make some of your own and bring it with you.
Yeah, but that would be. See, this is another like this. I feel for a lot because I'm pretty sure that I don't even think you guys necessarily eat beef, and so that's probably really hard to.
That's hard
if you're doing that. Well, there's a lot of other meats too, for sure. But yeah, so no, I definitely feel for you there. I don't know. You're gonna have to get them hooked on the carnivore way, and then when they have the carnivore clarity, they'll feel so much better. Hopefully. I don't know. It's crazy, Those are struggles.
I would just eat the meat dishes. I mean, they have a lot of sort of the meat curries, and try and stay away from the rice if you can. But I know that's going to be hard because it's just like Italians with bread. How can you eat the cheese without the bread? And you've got to have bread to soak up the sauce on everything with Italians.
That's one thing that I loved. Bread, but.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good shirt. Body by Beef and Butter. That'd be a great one. You should make that, man. That'd be awesome. I'd buy one.
Yep. Get my size.
Yeah, that's the trick.
I can't find my size.
Grateful Keto. Growing up in a big household, banter was second nature. You learn not to take it seriously. Yeah, I've always been the one to hide. I guess my family wasn't full of banter. My father was very quiet and yeah, but my husband's family, they're very out there. So it's been difficult for me to sort of blend in a little bit. Yeah, I shy away from all that.
Yeah, we gotta. You come around for the 4th of July. You'll leave with new banter skills because my family, that's all we do is banter.
I'm
Yep.
trying. I do. I'd love to be a bit more, yeah, like that, and a bit tougher instead of taking things so seriously. But I'm starting to say no a lot more now, and yeah, if I don't want to do something, I'll just say it now. Whereas before, I
Yeah,
would do things, bend over backwards, and pretty much a doormat. I've been a doormat all my life, but not anymore.
That's right.
Taking a stand.
for
Yeah.
sure. No, and it's perfect. And you got the carnivore clarity and carnivore confidence to back it up.
Yep.
Got that on my side, definitely.
Right.
So you're right, Lindy. Oh, thank you, Keith. I'm trying. Just talking from experience here. Been a hard life, but it's all getting better now.
This is awesome right here.
One guy
Yep.
told me I shouldn't drink my calories and proceeded to tell me about the new juice bar he's opening in town. Oh,
Yeah, exactly, man. That's hilarious. I know you just want to
wow.
slap people sometimes, right?
Knock some sense in
Like,
them, yeah.
yeah, just the things that they say doesn't go through. But yeah, like
Think about that before it came out, did he?
exactly. That's awesome. Uh,
People who give others a hard time tend to be jealous and insecure and need prayer to get them out of their misery. Yeah. I think it's,
Yep.
yeah, probably a way of, to take the deflection off them and they're focusing on you so you don't
Yeah.
focus on
Yeah.
them.
My,
Yeah.
my brother always come up to me and ask me when I'm going to go on a diet or something like that. And I look at him and I say, when are you going to quit smoking?
right,
And he shuts up. It's the only way I can get him to stop. I know
right,
he's looking out for me, but I'm looking out for him too. I want him to quit smoking,
right,
especially after seeing
Mm.
what my mom went through. You would think that would have woke you up a little bit.
right. Well, and this
Yeah.
goes back to what I said before about not everybody. Like I'm not trying to create a point system for people's struggles or whatever. Everybody's got their own
Right.
struggle, and only those people are really going to know what it's like. But one thing I would say that's different about being obese, and especially really obese, is that you wear it on the outside. So,
Right.
some people have addictions and struggles and things that
Right.
they're going through that aren't on the outside,
You
and they
never see
don't.
him. Right.
Yeah, they don't get confronted with it every day by
Right.
everybody that they meet.
Right.
But when you're big, you have
Yeah.
to you have to shut down. You got to kind of withdraw
Right.
indoors and kind of hide
That's
because
what I.
literally every time you step out,
You,
you
you're,
just
na- you yeah.
yeah,
So
you just
you get the looks, you get the people whispering, the laughs,
yeah,
and yeah.
and like I didn't honestly, and this is just me. I'm not saying I know that people are totally different. I didn't care about the looks and the laughs and all that
Oh, I
stuff. Like
know.
I could really care less, but it was actually the people that cared about me. I cared when I would see the worry and the worry and the concern and the fear that they were taking home with them about me. It sucks when somebody's taking your problem home with them because they care about you and it's so serious and they see it. You're like affecting other people around you. And that was what I hated. Like, mean people, who cares? There's
Right.
like, they're a dime a
It
dozen, but
hurts though. It
yeah.
hurts.
Oh, it
You
does
know.
for sure. I just, I look at mean people and it's just like, how bad does your life have to be where the best part of your day is making somebody
I
that's
know.
hurt?
Yeah.
Like it's just, you must have a
You
terrible,
you don't think I'm
terrible
suffering
life.
enough, so you want to knock me down some more.
Right. And I
Yeah.
get that. Like, I understand how from our side that hurts. But when I look at those people doing it, I'm like, even worse, how bad does your life have to suck
Right.
if the
Right.
best part of your day has to be making somebody else hurt?
Feel worse.
Like,
Yeah. No, I
yeah,
know.
you must live in a bigger hell than I'm living in if you feel like you need to take a shot at me today to make your life better. Like
Right.
you're in a really bad spot, pal.
Yeah.
So I just that's why I just never gave them any. any mind. And I mean, I say these things and I know, but then I'll get a comment or something going, can you believe this guy does? And like, and some of those will still get under your
I
nerves.
know.
Usually hypocrisy gets under my nerves more than anything, but it was really the thing that would affect me the most, the things that I would avoid the most wasn't people staring or making stupid comments or whatever, because I usually had a snappy comeback, or I could make them just as uncomfortable as they made me in a pretty
Right.
big hurry. So I didn't
Right.
have a problem with that, but it was, what do you do when you make all your friends and families and people that truly care about you worry, and then go home and take that worry, and you can see that you're like you're almost sucking the joy out of them every time you see them.
Right.
That's what sucks. That's what makes you really like, you know what, I'm just gonna work from home from now on. You know
Oh.
what I mean? So
It still gets hard to resist sometimes with the large amount of sweets at these Indian gatherings. Indians have higher rate of diabetes than Americans. Yeah, their sweets are very sweet too. I used to date a Sri Lankan, so yeah, God, they had some beautiful love cakes and things like that, which are just so sweet. But yeah, I feel for you. That is a difficult situation when you've got the family together, and maybe it's, on those days you need to give you permission to have something a little bit off plan, as long as you go back on it.
Right.
It's Christmas only happens once a year, so yeah.
for sure.
Business Centre Costco is now open on Sundays too. Have beef bacon for about $8 a pound.
It's a good
I
deal.
haven't had bacon yet. I still have to find it.
Need to ask your butcher.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not due to order for another week, so I'll have to ask. Yeah, but their website was down last time, so yes, it's been. Grateful Kate, the only person who can say that the teasing is bad is the person who is the butt of the banter in our family. We only have to say sorry, that hurts. Yeah. Yeah, it's hard. I just keep it all inside, and then I hate that person for the rest of my life, but they don't know it. I'm always.
Yeah, you walk out there, have a nice Christmas, and inside you're like, you're dead to me.
Yep. That's me. Yeah.
I never forget anything. So. In my filing cabinet, my pages, yeah.
We are funny people when it comes to that. Like, we all do that stuff, you know.
Chris Cooking Nashville has the best spreadable butter mayonnaise recipe. Nice. Thank you,
Check
Linda.
that out. Yeah, because I definitely need a good one of those.
Laura, I saw a recipe where you make a roll, like a jelly roll shape out of ground beef laid with cheese of voice, prosciutto rolled in log,
Cheese of choice. Cheese of choice.
Okay. Yeah. Cinnamon rolls and breaded in pork rinds. It's like a meatloafy type, isn't it?
Sounds good.
Cheese,
you know, am I doing the pork rind thing wrong? Like, I haven't tried the pork rind crust things since keto, but I had to stop doing it because I was screwing it up every time. Because all that would happen is, like, the oil or something or the water would get into the pork rinds, and it would try to, like, rehydrate the pork rinds, and it would turn it into some sort of collagen-y, chewy. Yeah, I was like, this is not good.
No, so, you got to get the oil hot enough to.
I got you.
To, like, almost like a deep fry.
Well, I was just like, it seems like I'm just making the pork rinds back to pork skin where it's all chewy and slimy. I was like, this is not a good texture for anything I want to put in my mouth.
Yeah. I haven't actually found any clean, like you can buy the pork panko and stuff, but it's always stuff in there, so I haven't been able to buy any. And then the pork rinds that I do buy are really expensive. Just for a little packet, you're looking almost like $8 for a tiny 100 grams. Whoa. So, like, it's not even worth trying to grind those up and use them for any recipes. So,
yeah,
I just use those.
I get a whole bag of pork rinds for like $3 that are just pork rinds and salt and.
I can get those other naughty things in there as well, like the seed oils and stuff. If you buy them from the supermarket, to buy clean one. got to pay premium price. So it's not worth my time to.
Oh, you're gonna have to make
do
your
all
own,
that.
but
I need a hog, a whole hog.
we'll send you home with a briefcase full of pork belly. uh,
Janet, thanks for having this live chat. It really is inspiring and helpful. I have to leave now, but I'll check back to watch the end of the replay. Thank you, Janet.
you,
Thanks.
Janet. I appreciate you
Yes.
coming by. It's awesome. We sure appreciate you guys.
Beth, I think Chuck Norris went vegan. Not confirmed, but it ruins the legend status for me. Yeah, absolutely. Who eats
Absolutely.
veggies?
I'm gonna have a talk with that man, but I don't think so. I think if Chuck Norris started eating vegetables, they would become meat. That's what I think would happen.
I have Bear Grylls is carnivore now.
Oh,
Do you
Bear
know about
Grylls?
Bear?
Yeah. Yeah,
That's pretty awesome.
I didn't know that he wasn't carnivore before because he had all the. I mean, I have a Bear Grylls knife. What's he need a knife for if he's cutting vegetables?
The survival knife, but I think he's been carnivore a while. I think he was doing more plant-based earlier on,
Oh, I got
but
you.
now he's definitely carnivore now.
That's awesome.
My Apex Odyssey, time waits for no man unless that man or woman is a carnivore. Found a Chuck Norris joke page.
Chuck Norris jokes are the greatest. if I'm the first person to tell you about him, you're welcome.
Happy birthday, Laura. I started carnivore just a few months ago on my 64th birthday, hopefully to reduce my arthritis pain. It's a little pain relief thus far, but several other benefits occurred. Yeah, it takes a bit of time, but you'll get there. It's good that you've got some other benefits, so you know you're on the right track. And yeah, happy birthday to you too.
Yes, yes. Happy birthday. It's so great that you came and are spending your birthday watching us. Well, are you crazy? Thank you.
Todd, maybe look into keto shakes for your mum, keto chow shakes. You may make them with either heavy cream or melted butter, and you can make ice cream out of them, high protein and high fat soups too. Wow.
Laura, I do that exact thing actually. I have a whole cabinet of keto chow shakes, and we always keep a couple in the fridge for her, and then I have a Ninja Creamy, and I do one, and you got to bump it up because when you freeze stuff, it loses some flavor. So I make her keto chow ice cream, and she likes that. She's just you can get palate fatigue with anything, so she just we do that for a while and she likes it and she likes the shakes and she goes back and forth. So she keeps saying, I want a salad. And I'm like, Mom, why? What's it going to do? And she goes, it's just something different. And I'm like, all right. So I'm trying to find different things to keep her,
mix it up for her.
yeah, to mix it up that's in the carnivore. Because my problem is I don't really care if Mom has salad. She's not fighting cravings necessarily. But what she is fighting is she's only got 8 ounces. She's got gastric bypass, so she can only eat a little bit. So she only gets about 8 ounces of food down a day. And I do not want 4 ounces of that to be lettuce because I'm just competing for space every day because she needs protein, amino acids, fat. I need to get that stuff in her. And if she's going to fill it up with stupid things like keto bread and, lettuce and, whatever,
nutrition.
Yeah, no nutrition in it. It's just like, yeah, it's just hard with her because she's like, in her mind, she's just like, why all of a sudden are tomatoes bad all of a sudden, And I'm like, because they are kind of bad, but it's not even that they're bad as much as it is. You don't have any room to play anymore. You need this protein. You need this fat. You need the nutrients, But no, definitely, Laura, thank you very much. And that is a great idea, and it is working. So she's getting there. She's just cantankerous.
I love banter and sarcasm. We only pick on people we like.
Cheer, cheer. If I don't give you a hard time, then that means I don't like you.
I'll try to remember that.
Yeah, it's like I don't know, the comics always say it's just like when you're, in kindergarten and you get hit by a boy with a rock and it really means he likes you. You know?
Right.
that's that's basically how sarcasm is.
Evelina, Michael, does your family know about your healthy lifestyle change?
Not really. I'm trying to keep it quiet. I want to
Oh, you
drop.
are? You are?
Well, all right. I gotta go. I'm sorry.
He'll be
No,
back. He's just drunk.
no. I'm trying to keep it quiet. They don't know that I do this, but I want to surprise them one day when I'm down enough.
Absolutely. It'll be a shocker. It'll be fun. You have to take a video of that though,
Okay.
because we're gonna want to see the highlights of the holy craps.
Oh.
I want to be there too.
Oh,
I need a video. Yeah.
For sure.
It's always easier to live other people's lives. We have the solution to their struggles down pat, our own struggles not so much. Gee, how true is that? Yeah.
Totally. So true. Yeah. I know that's why I always go back to it. I love Jordan Peterson when he's like, if you really want to change the world for the better, stay out of everybody else's business and fix yourself. Clean your own room, make your bed, pick up something heavy and carry it every day, pick up your own burden, carry as much of your burden until you get strong enough that you can carry all of your own burdens and 1% of just anybody else's. And if everybody could carry just 1% of somebody else's burden because they made themselves that strong and that squared away that they can take care of themselves 100% and 1% of somebody else, the world would just be an entirely different place,
Definitely lead by example as well.
Totally.
People see what's going on and see that you're sort of winning all these battles. They'll come to you if they want to change, but until they're ready to make that change, there's not much you can do about it.
For sure.
Hurting people hurt people.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yep. That is a definite truth.
Jake, I'm learning to not react from my past trauma when others say things that trigger me, but to think about the words themselves mean before respond to how the tone, etc., make me feel put down. Yeah, that people don't think, they just blurt things out. And, for someone like me, I don't let them know that I'm hurting because of it. So, yeah, we have to learn to toughen up and not let it get us down, not let us derail us.
Yep.
That's another battle we have to fight. And they have no idea doing it.
I think it actually gets easier when you just start forgiving people and kind of just like realizing that, because sometimes what it was for me when I was taking offense to people is because I was assuming they had a better life than me because they didn't have my problem, right? Like I was big, so their life's better. But then you realize, oh man, everybody, there's a lot of people that have a lot of bad things going on, And so when I was just like, especially now that I'm carnivore and I realized all these people that are losing their minds, they have carnivore or, standard American diet brain right now.
Right.
They're still, they're they're kind of mentally ill in a way. Not to be mean, but we're kind of talking with mentally ill people that are, they're addicted to something that's messing up their hormones and their chemicals, balance. And so, yeah, it's just like now it's just, I mean, I kind of feel like we're all either patients or prior patients of some sort of psych ward. And we're all, like, none of us should, everything should be taken with a grain of salt and let, a sufficient amount of time go by before we decide if somebody's just having a bad day or what,
Right.
Because there's so much going on with people.
My husband and I have got a bit of a joke going. We're like, oh, that person obviously needs some meat. And between the two of us, that's how we sort of deal with it now. So, yeah, that kind of works. Makes us feel better.
For sure. Exactly. That makes sense. That is funny. I'm going to use that.
You never know what people have gone through to make them miserable.
Yeah.
Right.
We had a funny one I went to my daughter's shop and the lady came in and she was so grumpy, and we kind of looked at her and was like, what have you got to be grumpy about? The sun's out and all that. And we didn't say anything. And she was just really snappy. And then after she bought the flowers, she said to my daughter, I'm sorry for being such a grump, but these flowers are for a suicide. And I just didn't know how to react or what to give them or what to say. And she was just all caught up in her head about that. And we thought, no wonder she was grumpy and, in the shop. And obviously she didn't know what flowers to buy. And it was all a bit of a shock to her. But yeah, we kind of judged and thought, what has she got to be grumpy about? And then it wasn't until she said that we realised that there was an issue. There was a reason why she was being like she was. So that was pretty sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. But no,
So to be
that.
careful.
Yeah, we all got to take a, because it's easy just to get emotional and react, but anymore, I'm like, I just knowing what I've been going through, knowing what my sister's been going through, what my mom, what my brother is just like, oh yeah, everybody's going through something, and I think more so than normal. I think the world's getting so sick that this is a pretty big, it's a bigger occurrence lately, because people are just more sick now. I think I really do believe that, and so everybody's having more and more problems. And some people some people. I didn't handle it well every day for sure. I had my
Yeah.
bad days for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, we definitely got to just take some time and kind of just blow things off with people.
Yeah. Everybody's battling something.
Yep.
Yeah. Jake, Carnivore is making that easy by helping clear my mind to the point of level-headed thinking in the face of such butt-headed butt of joke banter. Yeah.
Yep.
Like I've had a few things happen recently, like I lost my job recently, and just a few other little things which would normally have derailed me, have thrown me off. But this new carnival brain that I have now, I've been able to sort of sit back and think, okay, I've lost my job. Okay, let's work out my finances. Let's do this. Let's do that. And I was able to process it a lot easier, whereas before I was just like, oh my God, it's the end of the world. And this new calm has just made me deal with all the problems and things so much easier now. So that's been a big one as well.
Oh, hey, looky here. This is Mark. He was the one I was telling you guys that just joined the SBG gang, and he is in Canada, and he's the one that's got a diabetes problem. So I told him, so I told him he should definitely make the meeting.
Yeah.
Definitely make the Zoom meetings.
I've
One or
seen.
two.
I don't know. That's I forgot to ask him. I feel like it's type 2 because he problem he's having on carnivore now is his blood sugar's getting too low, and I think he has a time release insulin that he
So it's probably
takes.
type 2 then.
Yeah, and I think that was what was going on with him. And so, but these were just things like I know what my gut says to do, but he's really going to need to ask this question to the gang, the coaches, because this is above my pay grade. So, but yeah, Mark, definitely like Emily was here earlier today, but definitely join all the Zoom meetings, and then put your hand up and ask. They love questions, and just ask them about what they would do about because his problem is he's carnivore, trying to do carnivore, but with his time release medication, when he's not eating any carbohydrates, his blood sugar gets too low. It drops too far.
On medication or any insulin, you would need to consult with your doctor and reduce the insulin as you're going along. My daughter has type 1 diabetes, so I'm very familiar with all that. But you're not having the carbs and stuff anymore, and they're just like, oh, bump up your carbs so that you can work your insulin with that. But it's the other way around. You want to reduce that insulin, so by having less carbs. So you need to work with your doctor and gradually reduce your medication with them. Yeah, but the coaches can help too. Mention it in SBG gang, and they can also guide you as well. They're pretty good with that.
Totally. All right.
Evelyn Green, what is frustrating too is when you really are trying and it isn't working. Now it is. Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of people that they want a quick fix. Like I've been on Carnivore a few days and I'm not getting all these benefits. But in most cases you get worse before you get better because you're detoxing. You've got a lot of stuff to get out of your system and you just got to trust the process. And there's no rush. It's day at a time.
For sure. Yeah, I agree. And it's, knowing what I know now too, it's like we only had, we all really, when we're trying to lose weight, only have one matrix of whether it's working or not, and that's whether we're getting lighter or not. And then when you really know that we're also fighting, serious malnutrition or malnourishment, and our body doesn't see the weight as a problem. Our body sees being sick and unhealthy and malnourished as the problem. So the weight isn't the number one priority for our body. Getting healthy and rebuilding tissue and balancing hormones and recreating these new metabolic pathways and becoming fat adapt and efficient and processing and nutrients and amino acids and proteins and all these things. That's what our body's concentrated on. And when that all gets worked out, then the weight just comes off because your body's going to run optimally. But so in our head, when our body's trying to, like, how many times did we all do something and it was either completely wrong or it was only a little bit right, but we didn't get fast enough results, so we gave up on it, just like you're hearing people that are having stalls for, like me, right? I've had like 5 months of stalls out of 11. When you do that and you're starving, when you're doing that and you're starving and you're having these stalls, of course you're going to give up. You're like, so I'm miserable for 6 months and it's not working, like, but we don't, it's because this is what's so wrong with trying. This is what's so wrong with addressing the weight, like going after the weight. That's like just addressing the symptom. Don't try to heal the symptom. That's stupid. You never just try to heal a symptom. You got to heal the disease, and then all the symptoms go away. And when you realize that, all these diets and all these programs, including lap band surgery and all those things, these are all an entire industry that are built around focusing on a symptom, which is so stupid. it's like if you had your hand in the fire, you're like, this guy's got blisters, we need band-aids and ice and water, whatever the thing would be. It's like, or shouldn't you pull his hand out of the fire first and then like, wouldn't that be the place to start? But all this stuff, they're not addressing this underlying, the underlying problem, which is malnourishment, insulin resistance, inflammation, all this crap. We're not addressing it. And so is it any wonder that that these things don't work when, it's just, we got to shift our mind from stop relating weight to be the only factor that matters to health, because it doesn't even correlate. Like a healthy body will be a healthy weight, but you could manipulate a weight and it's not going to create a healthy body. And I did
And
that 4 times.
we have to remember this is not a diet. This is our lifestyle now. But we've got the rest of our lives to be eating well and optimizing our health. So there's no rush, day at a time.
Absolutely.
Laura, I started keto, mostly carnivore, 1 month ago, and I'm down 17 pounds today. Huzzah! Congratulations.
And how do you feel? How do you feel? Do you feel stronger? Do you feel, do you feel like better brain function and better brain energy? Do you sleep better? Pain gone? Any mobility? Like, that's what I started getting addicted to. And that's what is really, it's going to be fun to watch those markers, Laura, because those are the things that are going to matter. Because you're going to have a day when you're priming like I did this morning, and you get up and you're like, no, the scale said I gained 12 pounds, and you're going to lose your mind. But then you quickly come back to earth when you're like, Yeah, but I felt so good this weekend. I felt so strong and my clothes are fitting better and I'm so much more agile and those are the great things to get just addicted to.
Diana, Lindy, IGA supermarket have a big bag pork rinds. I crumb my fish in them. Okay, I've never actually been to IGA. We do have one about 10 minutes from here, so I might have to check them out. Thank you.
There you
Thanks,
go.
Diana. Yeah. Parabolina, it takes a while to empty out the body. Our liver can also make glucose, so low blood sugar is rare on OMAD and short fast.
I think I think when you're taking insulin though, it's not so rare. Like when you're taking insulin to lower the blood sugar because it's used to, let's say, having 300 grams of carbs a day or something. I think that would be low. Like I don't know that our body's gonna make like 300 grams of glucose. you know?
Taking too much insulin, but he needs a doctor to help him bring that medication down safely and
Yeah,
slowly. Yeah.
makes sense.
Todd, 4 Patriots have energy survival cakes, nutrient dense, that are like a lemony biscuit. One tiny square is 500 calories. Your mum might enjoy that for a change.
Thank you
Four
very
Patriots.
much. I'm actually gonna take a. How do I do a screenshot on this PC, Michael?
Oh, you're muted, I think.
I think Michael's muted. Am I muted?
Hmm. No, I
Oh,
can hear you.
I was. I'm sorry. I took a screenshot for you. I'll send it to you.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. All right.
Jake, carnivores excel at arm wrestling with body hands tied behind them. Oh, with both hands tied behind their backs.
That's a good. I like it. We got a screen. How do I? We got to do screenshots of those because those are T-shirt ideas.
Just
You
hit
got that, Mike?
print screen.
Control. What's that?
Try print screen. What are you on? Windows over there?
Yeah, but I don't have a print
I
screen.
think Windows has. You don't have it on your keyboard? A print screen button?
No, because I got a Logitech one.
Oh,
I don't know. I'll leave you in charge of the screenshots.
I'll take another one.
Yeah, and then I'll gather them for you one more time.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got here? Somebody noticed. Somebody finally noticed.
I'm not screen printing that one. I'm not
Come
capturing
on,
that one.
I want that framed. Somebody finally noticed. Thank you, Hermelina.
You got time for your story, Todd. I've promised everyone your story.
You're gonna give him a big
I've got
head.
a story. I've got
Hey,
just like
you're gonna give him a big head with those comments, and his hat's not gonna fit him.
that's okay. I'll get a new hat. I've been trying to tell everybody I'm funny, but nobody believes me.
Great point. Everyone has some sort of train lurk in their lives. Yeah, they do.
For
Yes,
sure.
they do.
Here's the legend
There he
himself.
is.
Oh,
Oh,
that's the dirty carnival, my husband.
there he is.
Hey, Scott. Oh,
Should be
man.
working.
Hey, keep both hands on that wheel.
Here's Mario. Yes, Mario, I did. I got like 3 packages in the mail waiting for me. And so I got to go pick them up. And then I'm going to be talking to you midweek when I get all the rest of them. And then I'm going to go through them. So I'll definitely be getting hold of you. Let's see.
I am female, almost 80, surviving Sabas for 3 years now. No prescription meds, no diagnosis, not overweight, energetic. All we can do is let our light shine. And as he said, be an example.
Yep.
Wow, amazing example.
You're
Thank you
awesome.
for
Absolutely. You're the same age as my mom. That's awesome.
I want to be like you when I'm 80
Totally.
Yep.
and 120. Being 120.
Exactly.
Promise me. Carnivore champion question. Since you've become carnivore, have your TV movie watching interest changed at all?
Hey, he's got a good channel too. If you want to follow along with his journey, I watch it.
Oh,
I'm
really?
there.
I didn't know that. I'll
Yes.
definitely follow you, Carnivore Champion.
Yeah.
So first of all, I never could watch that many movies to begin with. I had to watch, like, I was a YouTube fanatic because I love documentaries and real world stories of people. So I like people things more than like movies. And then I don't want to get too involved in politics, but I've boycotted about half of the movies out there because I don't like the people in them. They got too mouthy in the Hollywood stars got a little too mouthy in the political arena, and I'm like, I don't pay my money to people to tell me how to think. I don't pay for movie stars to try to influence my politics. So
Well,
I don't want to get preached to when I'm watching movies. So as soon as a movie star preaches to me about something, I put them in a deep hole in the ground. I don't ever watch their movies again. So I already can't watch about 85% of Hollywood's movies anyways, but I absolutely love documentaries and just real stories. Like carnivore community is awesome because you hear just real people that are finding real answers and doing amazing stuff, and they're all so genuine and so grateful and so smart. um and they're just so willing to help and share. That's my addiction now for sure, of kind of entertainment and things that I consume that way.
Mm. Laura, I have never been on meds, thank God. I'm looking forward to knee cartilage being renewed. Yeah. I had a lot of hip pain at once, but I think that seems to be fixing itself. I don't seem to be struggling as much with it. And I think it's from all the extra butter I've been having the last couple of weeks, I'm assuming. Yeah. So awesome.
Looking for it. Yeah, that's going to be awesome. Yeah, the only medication I still kind of take about twice a month is the fluid pills. But yeah, I got off of
yep.
gout medication, blood pressure medication. Uh, I'm trying to think. The prednisone, or not prednisone, um, Advair, Advair, and whatever my steroid inhalers were, plus a steroid nebulizer thing. Plus, I was supposed to take like an antidepressant, which I just never did because I just didn't feel that that was a good road to go down. And seeing people they were having problems with those, but I just stopped taking all the nonsense. And the only one that I still find real utility in is the fluid pills because I can tell without them, I'm not 100% healed up from that stuff yet, but it's getting
Right.
there. Let's see.
Bypass Carnival. Hi. Having a
Yeah,
clear mind to allow yourself to have more grace to those you encounter. Never know what someone's going through.
Nope, they don't.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Waiting on my emails from you, Bypass.
Arlene, I like that Dr. Baker went to a conference in Seattle and taught carnivore to doctors who helped in the C virus and also had good acceptance. I listened to one of them, Dr. Mobeen, since 2020, trying to protect us. Yeah, Dr.
Haven't seen.
Baker's love that he's trying to get his message out there. That's good
That's
that people
awesome.
are listening in.
I haven't heard him. I haven't heard this talk yet, but I'm definitely going to look for it now and check it out. That's amazing.
I meant Dr. Baker came from a Sala meeting and was very well accepted. That's
Yeah, he
good.
was just at a meeting now.
That's awesome. Was that the one in Germany?
I believe so.
Okay.
It's so wonderful to be on a healthy lifestyle of eating that's healing us in so many ways. It's a total transformation. It's like the limitless pill, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It really is like the limitless. Yeah, now your name makes sense. It does. Yep, it sure does. It's like we are aging backwards. I say it a lot, but I really believe this. I think our best days are ahead of us still. I really do.
Yep. Yep. It's awesome, Laura.
I need to feel more energetic. Yay! Should be doing somersaults and handstands soon.
Absolutely.
Jake, my right eye had hundreds of micro-sized floaters, all gone. My left eye had severe large floaters. Now they are less than half diameter now. Did you have floaters You did, didn't you, Michael? Yeah.
I did, yes. Todd did too. Me and Todd
Yeah.
were just talking about this the other day, that they're clearing up. Amazing.
Yeah, I had hundreds of them. I mean, literally, they're
Yep.
everywhere. And now I still have, I'm looking at them right now, I still have probably 15 of them. But the thing is, I haven't hardly noticed them until Michael asked me the other day. And now when I focus on them, it's because they're really, really light. Like before, they were dark. Like they would felt like a shadow, and they're really annoying. And I haven't noticed them in a long time. And so when Michael was doing that, that's why I was just looking at them. It's because they're like, I don't know if they're dissolving or how that works, but
Yeah.
they're so light that they don't bug me like they used to, you know?
Yeah, I had one that was really irritating, and it's disappearing. It's amazing. And you listen to these doctors, the eye doctors, and they tell you, oh, you got to have surgery. Really, the only way to correct it. And look, we changed our diets, and they're disappearing. I'm so happy about that because I've been
Totally.
dealing with it for years.
Yep.
Well, I
Yeah,
didn't
just
have
amazing.
I couldn't read anything on the computer screen. It looked like a foreign language to me, but now I'm fine with reading.
Amazing,
Little
huh?
still, but I can read it. I can read out the words. Yeah.
That's awesome. Let's see. I'm going to check the live chat real quick, see if I missed anything.
And then it's story time, I think.
Oh, we both clicked at the same time. Which one did you have?
I had Arlene's up there about
Oh, there we go.
him coming up.
I'll go to that one first.
It was in California. I think those doctors are teaching on healing the body, and they've helped a lot of people, but were very hurt by the healthcare system, and YouTube demonetized for saying, see,
Right on.
Yep.
Let's see. See, yeah, I sure appreciate you coming by. Dr. Atkins. Okay, let's see.
Less than 20 a day, yeah. Then keto carnivore.
I'm glad it's working for you now. Nice shopper offering Nick fingers. I took 12 to 14 days. Oh, wow. That's awesome. That's crazy. 2 to 4 days.
Big difference.
oh, geez, that's good.
Just goes to show you how much better your body's working.
Absolutely. Thank you. I sure appreciate it. All right. So they told me, us crazy three here, we chat a lot. And so I've told them I was going to start a series a little while back about, I was going to call it like Chronicles of Fat People or something, because there's so many funny things we can all laugh about. Anyhow, so I've told them a few of these, and they have now challenged me to tell them on the show. So I'm not worried, because I think they're hilarious too. I used to be embarrassed about them, but yeah, so I was like 11. I was like, I think I was somewhere around 500 pounds, right in that point, somewhere in there. I may have been 12 and a little heavier. But my dad, we were on a road trip, and I used to get, I might have even been a little bit younger than that, actually. But yeah, I used to get road sickness, like travel, like I don't know if anybody's ever suffered with that, but I would always get a nervous stomach when we were on the road. And so I would always have to go use the bathroom. And anyhow, we were traveling to Great Falls, Montana, and we had to go. My dad loved to buy books. He loved to read. He owns still this house. When he passed away, it's got over 5,000 books in it from my dad, because he just bought every book and read every book. And so he loved this bookstore in the Great Falls, Montana mall. And when we're going there, I'm like, Dad, I got to use the bathroom. My stomach really hurts, And so we pull up, and I hadn't been in this mall before. And Dad's like, all right, when you get into the mall, he said, you got to, as soon as we go in the mall, there's a bar restaurant right here, and go right in there. And he said, you turn in there and you go straight to the back to the left. And there's a bathroom back there, and you can get back there. So as soon as we get in there, like, I'm hoofing it through the mall, and I go rush through this rush it, because you got to kind of walk this long hall in front of the bar and get to the bathroom. I get back there, close the door, take off my bibs, And I plopped down on this toilet. Well, this toilet was mounted to the wall. It was an old building, and this toilet was mounted to the wall. So as soon as I plopped down on this toilet with my 500-pound body, that toilet ripped off the wall. Completely came off the wall, including the water connection that was hooked to the toilet. It ripped it off. And so now all of a sudden, I mean, I barely just get sit down and I'm having to stand up before I fall over backwards. The toilet just shatters on the floor below me. All the water's all over the floor, got on my legs, and now I'm getting sprayed head to toe from this pipe connection that's sitting out of the wall that's just dumping water out of it. And I'm soaked from head to toe. So I put my bibs back on, and luckily the I don't know, I guess the adrenaline and the sheer shock factor made me not have to use the bathroom anymore. And I put my bibs on, buckle everything up, and I go busting out the door because I'm freaking out. And I'm just getting hosed with water in there. And I am soaked from head to toe. And I busted out the door, and then I realized everybody could see me. So I'm trying to act cool and calm and collective and walk slowly in front of the bar like nothing just happened in there. But I'm soaked from head to toe. So this bartender just saw me run to the bathroom just 60 seconds earlier. And now I'm coming out of the bathroom dripping head to toe with water. It was so funny. So I go walking back and I'm looking at him at the corner and I go walking through that bar. I get out in the main mall area and I take off running for my dad. And I run to my dad. And I'm like, Dad, I just broke the shitter off the wall. We got to get out of here. And Dad's like, what? I'm like, yeah, they had just, and I saw that toilet was hooked to the wall, went in there, busted it off, water everywhere. We got to go. And Dad's like, all right, get on the left side of me. So unfortunately, the exit was right out where that bar was where we parked. So Dad's walking in front of me. And so we had to, and it was pretty far into the bookstore, but we had to come back all the way back over to the spot. And when I came back, everybody had emptied out of the restaurant because the water started pouring out. And you know, like nowadays, the water lines that go to a toilet are like 3/8 or half-inch water line. I'm kidding you, not kidding you. This water line was like a 3/4 or 1-inch water line. I think it was 3/4 going to that toilet. It was pumping some serious water for just a toilet. I don't know if they had different water requirements back then or what, but it was dumping the water. And I say that because when we came back through, all of a sudden everybody had came out of the restaurant and was in the middle of the bar, and I'm still dripping wet from water, and me and Dad, I'm trying to walk fast, but my shoes are going squish, 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 squish. When I'm walking, I'm leaving footprints of water everywhere I'm going. And I was just drenched in water. And so me and my dad's like, stay on my left side, and he's trying to block me. Well, I'm 500 pounds. My dad is like 190 pounds. And so I was like trying to hide behind a blade of grass or something. So Dad's like, hide behind me. So we're walking by, and I make eye contact with the bartender, and he's just watching me when I'm walking out the door. And I'm just like, oh no, he sees me. But I look in there, and all the water is rushing out of the restaurant now. It had come through the entire restaurant, and all the patrons had left the restaurant, and there's water flowing into the actual mall. It was the funniest thing I ever seen. And we get out to the car, and me and my dad, everything was just super tense. Like, we're not laughing about nothing right now. We're just hightailing it out of there because I'm freaking out. And my dad's like, oh shit. So we get into the car, we start taking off, and then my dad just busts out laughing. When we're finally driving, my dad's busts out laughing. I'm like, can we find a shitter that mounts to the floor and not the wall? Because I really got to go. I still think about that today. So yeah, now anytime I see a toilet that's mounted to a wall, that's a no bueno. The good old times. True story. We got plenty of these, unfortunately.
Jake, I love tuning into these on Sundays. You all have a good night. Still working, getting my 100% carnivore journey started. You guys are motivation. Oh, thank you.
That's awesome, Jake. I appreciate it, man. You can definitely get this, man. Yeah, good times. So this time we are going to put up a poll. We forgot to do it last week because we're terrible people. But this time we're going to put up a poll, and we are going to put some topics up there, and we'd like you guys to vote on it for next week's show. So we're going to put that out tomorrow, and then we're going to go through that and see what you guys would like the topic to be about next week. And then should we make an announcement for the 26th yet?
No, we'll wait till the thumbnail comes out.
Oh,
But we
okay.
do have the big prize coming up, so yeah, we'll keep it.
At least we can give a cliffhanger.
Maybe something's happening, maybe not.
Some
Todd could be pulling your
proverbial,
leg.
some proverbial 26 clickbait. Or no, that wouldn't be good because clickbait you don't follow through on.
No,
right.
we're following through, but
yeah. All right,
maybe,
whatever the opposite.
Maybe only 2 will be there. We'll see.
We'll just call it a teaser, a click teaser instead of pay. But we sure appreciate y'all, and it was amazing you guys hanging out with us. It is wow, we did 3 hours again. That's awesome. I can't believe you guys listened to us for this long. It's crazy.
Well, we're over 3 now, so we get overtime now, right?
Absolutely. You get 0.5 on 0. So I don't know. It's so much fun hanging out with you guys, but we appreciate you. We love you. We know you guys are doing great out there. We're pulling for you. Yep. And we will see you.
And if you're out there and you're struggling, and like how we all 3 of us used to be, heavy in that dark place, without hope, without meaning in your life, you can change it. Try this. It works. It's working for me. It's worked for Todd. It's worked for Lindy. Look at those 2. I'm just starting my journey. I'm only almost 4 months into this, and I can see the changes, and I know I'm going to be successful at this. So please try this. It'll work for you. I promise you.
Absolutely. Amen to that.
Yep. Lindy, you have anything to say?
Thank you for joining us, everyone. It's been our pleasure, and I look forward to seeing you all next Monday. Have a great week, and yeah, stay strong, everyone.
No outro tonight. I didn't have an outro because copyright claims.
Well, now you're not getting time and a half.
All right, guys. We love you. Take care.
Love you guys. Stay. Bye.
Bye-bye.